We welcome you back to Brown Stadium, where the Bears and Penn Quakers are set to kick this one off. Brown has won the coin toss, and they have elected to receive the football to start this game. The Bears in their home brown jerseys with the white numerals, the silver pants, silver helmets, and the red trim, and the Quakers with their road white jerseys with the navy blue numerals and the navy blue helmets and pants and the red trim. The Bears will be kicking off from left to right. They will be receiving the ball heading from left to right. Penn will be kicking off from right to left as Connor Loftus tees the ball up at the 35-yard line, set to kick it deep to freshman Alex Jetty and sophomore Troy Dole standing inside their own 5-yard line. Bears special teams have made some big plays the past couple of weeks, accounting for 2 touchdowns. A block punt for a touchdown against Princeton. Last week, a fumble on the kick return by Cornell led to a Brown touchdown as well. Kickoff by Loftus goes over Jetty's head and into the end zone, and he will try to take it out here. And he takes it out to the 6-yard line. And we have an injured Bear down as well. That might be Dewey Jarvis down at the 27-yard line. So not a great start for the Bears, unfortunately. Jetty had it touch his hands, and he went back into the end zone and tried to take it out. And meanwhile, Dewey Jarvis, who is a freshman and a great athlete from Watertown, Massachusetts, who plays on a lot of the Bears' special teams, he is being attended to by Russ Fiore and the Brown training staff. Jarvis appears to be in some type of pain, and it looks like they're looking at his right knee. We certainly don't want to speculate, but Jarvis is being attended to. Head coach Phil Estes out on the field as well. And Ross, I'm not quite sure what the ruling is on that when it comes to, Jetty, I think he touched the ball in the field of play, and maybe he thought, since I touch it in the field of play, I have to run it out. But I'm not sure if you touch it or you have to possess it.
I think that might be correct, and I'm not exactly sure on the ruling either. But
in other words, he might have been able to down that in the end zone, and he didn't know.
I think you're right.
But you know what? If you're not sure, take it out.
That's right.
So the Bears will start this drive deep in their own territory at their own 7-yard line, and Jarvis not putting much weight on that right leg of his, being helped off the field by Russ Fiore and Dr. Fideli.
He's in good hands there.
Yeah,
those are 2 of the best guys in the business.
So the Bears will start this drive at their own 7-yard line, led by senior quarterback Patrick Donnelly. And it's great to see John Spooney back in the lineup, lined up as tailback behind Cody Tolby, the fullback, in the broken eye to the right. A receiver left and a receiver right for Donnelly, who operates out of the shotgun on first down, and he hands it off to John Spooney, bouncing it to the outside at the 10, at the 15, 20, at the 25, 30, and there goes John Spooney. 30, 20, 10, touchdown Bears, John Spooney.
He is absolutely electrifying, and no surprise there. They hand it off to Spooney on his weak back. That is amazing.
And they tried to take it up the middle between the tackles. Spooney didn't have a hole there, so he bounced it to the outside, and 93 yards later in the end zone, and the Bears take a 6-0 lead.
Great block by Cody Tolby there to create that play.
He's unbelievable.
One of the fastest guy in the Ivy League right there. You can see the crossover from his track and field.
He's had 3 or 4 touchdown runs like that this year against Princeton, against Georgetown, and now today against the Penn Quakers. The kick by Narocha is up and good. And just like that, we're 19 seconds into the game, and the Bears take a 7-0 lead.
When you put Spooney in open space, you can see it in the defense. They know when they're not going to catch him.
7-0 Bears, 14:41 to go. Here in the first quarter, John Spooney, a 93-yard touchdown run. Spooney, even though he missed last week's game and has essentially only played in a half of every game he's played in because he's been a little banged up and at times they've tried to manage his snaps, still the 3rd leading rusher in the Ivy League. If this guy played every game for a full game, he'd be leading the league with ease.
He would have unbelievable numbers.
Averaging 8.7 yards per carry coming in. That'll help the average.
No doubt. I mean, he's had a couple of big plays like that where you see it, he kind of just finds a hole. He's quite good at that. He has good vision. And once you give him open space, it really is just a track meet to the end zone.
You can't catch him.
No,
you just
can't. Not going to happen.
The Ivy League 100 and 200 meter champion And you see why right there. So now Narocha with the ball teed up at the 35-yard line, set to kick it deep to the Quakers. Dan Wilk and Dexter Davis back deep to receive. Roach approaches the ball, gets his leg into it, end over end, and this one will be taken at the 9-yard line. And it is bobbled and dropped and fallen on at about the 16, 17-yard line. So a little miscue on the return there by the Quakers, and they will start at their own 17-yard line, trailing 7-0. Well, Ross, you couldn't ask for a better start if you're Brown.
No doubt about it. And that's when you get a start to a game like that and put points on the board immediately, that just builds so much confidence for both sides of the ball.
And so now the Brown defense hoping to get things cranked up against this Penn offense, which will be led by senior quarterback Ryan Becker. But Becker is their backup behind Billy Ragone, who is injured and out again this week. And Becker lines up under center with backs in the I formation behind him on 1st and 10 from his own 17-yard line. Becker toss right to Kolsar. Kolsar looking to get to the outside, and he's tackled from behind. Looked like Zach Luttrell came in and got him from behind after a gain of about maybe 4 yards out of the 21-yard line.
And that's Penn's style. They're going to run the ball, an old school toss sweep right there. And I think the Bears defense knew that's what they're going to see going into the game. No surprise in the first play.
So a 4-yard pickup for Kolsar, who on the season is averaging 3.5 yards per carry, 289 yards on 83 carries coming in. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 for the Quakers from their own 21-yard line. And now Becker operates out of the shotgun with Kolsar standing to his left in the backfield. Snap. Handoff to Kolsar running right, and the Bears not fooled there. Kolsar maybe picked a yard up to the 22-yard line, but no more.
We just got word that run by John Spooney for 93 yards was the 3rd longest in Brown football history.
How about that?
That's
3rd
something.
longest run in Brown football history. John Spooney, 93-yard touchdown run for the Bears. It's 7-0 Brown, and here we go, one of those downs you talked about, getting the Quakers in a predictable down. 3rd and 5 from their own 22-yard line. Becker back to pass, fires, has a man, and it's going to be short of the 1st down marker. Ooh, but they give him a generous spot. They say his progress was to the 27, and I'll tell you what, I'm not so sure about that. I thought he ran backward on his own trying to make a play.
It certainly looked like that. I guess we'll see where exactly the spot is. It seems like they may be giving it to him. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, if you get the offense in that type of situation, they're going to get a 1st down sometimes. But the likelihood that they can sustain that drive is lower when you get them in a 3rd and 5.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Quakers as they just pick up the 1st down to the 27-yard line. And now Becker will go back up under center with backs in the I formation behind him. Kolsar is the tailback behind Schwartz, the fullback. They motion the tight end from left to right. Handoff, Kolsar running right behind the lead blocker. And Kolsar with a nice run takes it out to the 34-yard line. So a pickup of 7 yards on the carry there by Kolsar. And we have an injured Bear down on the field. It's Ludovic Richardson. So a couple of Bears banged up here in the early going of this one with 12:43 to go in the first. Ludovic Richardson being attended to on the field. We'll take a timeout. 7-0 Brown is our score from Nelligan Sports. This is Brown Bears football. Well, the good news is Ludovic Richardson is walking off the field under his own power. We certainly hope that we will see Luda back out on the field again for the Bears. He's a big part of that defensive front for Brown. Richardson, the sophomore out of Killingworth, Connecticut.
Yeah, he's been a really good player for him this year, and I know he had a lot of time his freshman year as well, but he's really came into his own this year and been quite a force on the defensive line, so hopefully he's okay. He's going to be back on the field soon.
So in his place comes Donnie Sproul. We talked about him in the pregame show. Missed last week after having surgery to remove a tumor from his vocal cords, and Donnie on the field today for the first time.
That's an impressive young man right there.
No question. And his family, ironically enough, and as it turned out, it was certainly a blessing that they were here. They rented a house here in Rhode Island because they wanted to see every one of his games senior year.
Wow.
So they came cross country, and it's a good thing, Donnie, given what he had to go through, that they were here with him.
That's huge.
To go through this all with him.
Situation like that, I mean, there really is nothing like your family.
Yep. So I think we're waiting for television to come back from their timeout as the Bears lead at 7-0 here with 12 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the first quarter. On the first play from scrimmage, John Spooney takes one home 93 yards for a touchdown to give Brown a 7-0 lead. And it's, I mean, that type of explosiveness. And you know what that does? That's going to help Patrick Donnelly in the passing game, set up play-action pass.
No doubt. And I think you'll see that as the game goes on. You know, they're going to keep feeding Spooney, but it will open up the pass for Donnelly as well.
2nd down and 3 for the Quakers from their own 34-yard line. And now they bring in the freshman quarterback, Adam Strauss. And he likes to run the football, and that's what he's going to do. Quarterback keeper right up the middle, and he drives forward to the 39-yard line for a 1st down. And Strauss will go to the sideline, and Becker will come back in for the Quakers.
And I wonder how much we'll see of that during the game today. You know, you have 2 quarterbacks who haven't seen all that much time. You know, are they going to have some sort of rotation going on throughout the game? Yeah,
if Strauss comes in, you can usually plan on it being a run. He likes to do some of that gun run stuff and, you know, some option stuff as well. Rarely will he pass it. Becker's going to pass here on 1st down. Has time.
Pressure.
Now the pocket collapses, and he's sacked in the backfield. And guess who got him? Donnie Sproul.
That is so good to see. You see all his teammates rallying around him, cheering. Oh, that is inspiring.
I'll let you in on something. I put together the motivational videos for the team every week that we watch Friday after our walk-through practice. And in the video, I slowed it down, and I had a close-up of Donnie, and I put "Welcome back, Donnie," and the whole team started cheering, went crazy. 2nd down and 16 after the sack by Sproul. Penn at the 33-yard line. Handoff coming near side to Kulsar. He gets to the outside at the 40, and he's bounced out of bounds across the 45-yard line. So a big run there by Kulsar of 11-12 yards on 2nd down and long.
You know, Donnie Sproul, he actually came to this program as a tight end and converted to defensive line because of some needs there. Some people went down. And, you know, he's really started to get a hang of it. And it's great to see him out there, even despite some of his health problems that are going on.
Quakers 1 for 1 on 3rd down today, and they have it 3rd down and 3 at their own 46-yard line. Becker operates out of the gun with 2 receivers to his right and 2 to the near side left. And now, do we get movement on Penn, or are they going to call encroachment on the Bears? I think we're going to get a false start on the Quakers.
Looks like it.
And that'll back them up 5 and bring up 3rd down and 8. Backs them up to their own 41-yard line. So a chance for the Bears to get off the field here on 3rd down. The Quakers offensively 5th in the league, converting on 3rd down at 41%. And the Bears defensively 2nd best in the league defensively, holding opponents to just a 34% 3rd down conversion percentage. 3rd and 8 for the Quakers. In motion from left to right is Connor Scott. And Becker back to pass, looks, steps up in the pocket, he wants to run for it, and the Bears are going to stop him short of the 1st down. Nice job there by the Bears defensively. Zach Sparber got him from behind.
And you saw that play, the 3rd down, the defense brought a lot of pressure on there, forced the quarterback to run. That's exactly the type of situation that they need to put themselves in. That's how they're going to have success.
And now on for the Quakers is their punter, Max Curicar, who averages 38 yards per punt, and back deep to receive for the Bears is freshman Alex Jetty. Curicar gets his leg into it. Good spiraling punt. Jetty's going to take it at his own 6. Across the 10, 15-yard line, 20. Jetty at the 25-yard line, and he spun down at the 28. Nice return there by Alex Jetty. And with 10:01 to go in the 1st quarter, Brown with a 7-0 lead will come back out onto the field on offense when we come back. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football. Scott Cardisci, Ross Walthall back at Brown Stadium. 10:01 to go 1st quarter, 7-0 Bears lead the Penn Quakers. And Ross, pretty good start for Brown on offense. They get the touchdown run by John Spooney, and defensively they hold the Quakers and force the punt.
Wonderful start on both sides of the football. I mean, you can really see that this team came out to play. Not just out on the field, the whole sideline's got a lot of energy. I think it's a great way to start off the game and really encouraging.
Quakers come into this game with a perfect 3-0 record in Ivy League play, tied with the Princeton Tigers for the top spot in the league. Bears hoping to send Penn to their first Ivy League loss of the season. Ironically, last year 2 losses won the Ivy Championship. Penn won it with 2 losses in league play. 1st and 10, Brown will take over at its own 29-yard line as Donnelly operates out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. Jordan Evans splits out to the near side right. It's Telef Lundeval to the far side left. Now Lundeval motions left to right. Toss left to Spoonie. Spoonie looking to get the corner at the 30, cuts it up at the 35, 40-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Another big run for John Spoonie. 2 carries today, and he's over 100 yards.
He is a great player. You saw Telef Lundeval crack back in on the defensive end there. There's not many wide receivers in this league that can make a block like that and create a running room on the edge. That was a great block by him. Very physical wide receiver.
Yes, he is. Lundeval, big kid, 6'4", 210-pound senior out of Highland Park, Illinois. 1st and 10, Brown. They have the ball at their own 42. Now they go trips, 3 receivers to the near side right and 1 to the far side left. It's Jordan Evans. Donnelly to pass, looks for Evans far side, makes the catch just short of midfield, and he's run out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
Jordan Evans looks like he's got glue on his hands. You very rarely see him drop a pass like that. Great catch.
Jordan's played well of late. He had a touchdown last week and a couple of big plays, over 100 yards receiving against Cornell, and was named the Offensive Player of the Week for this Brown football team. Coach Estes has chains that he hands out, and he got his number 80 on that offensive chain, the white chain. 2nd down and 4 for the Bears. They have it at their own 48. 3 receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Donnelly out of the gun. Spoonie stands behind him in the backfield. Handoff, Spoonie running right. Has a wall of blockers, cuts it to the outside, and Spoonie going to pick up the 1st down to the 49-yard line. It all depends on the spot. 48, I think he's got it based upon that spot.
See, that's that balance that the offense is aiming for. And you see a couple of great runs by Spoonies, a couple of great passes. If they can continue that, they're going to have a huge amount of success.
A 4-yard run for Spoonie, and he picks up the 1st down inside Quaker territory at the Penn 48. And now Evans splits out to the left, Lundeval to the right. Talby back in and the broken eye to the left ahead of Spoonie as Donnelly operates out of the gun on 1st and 10. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right, and gets rid of it quickly to Cody Talby, who makes a man miss, and Talby drives forward across the 45-yard line. That's a good job of running after the catch by Cody Talby, who could have been brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
You know, people see him, and they think he looks like a wrestler. He's short, he's stout, he's strong, and he will surprise you with how much speed he has. He can really make somebody miss.
He's a gamer, tough kid.
Sure is.
Bears right up to the line of scrimmage again. Donnelly on 2nd down wants to pass. And now he gets rid of the football, and Talby slipped down, and it falls incomplete to the turf. It'll bring up a 3rd down for the Bears. 3rd down and 6 at the Penn 44. Donnelly thought about running it, and then he decided to step back, and Cody Talby was open, and as he got rid of the football, Cody lost his footing.
It's unfortunate because that's one of the things that Donnelly is so good at. He can throw on the run. He's a very mobile, fast guy, but he can still throw accurately when he's moving.
3rd down, 6 for the Bears on the season, converting at 38% on 3rd down, 6th best in the Ivies. Donnelly out of the shotgun, back to pass on 3rd down, steps up in the pocket, fires across the middle to Jordan Evans, and Evans picks up the 1st down at the 30, at the 25, at the 20, still on his feet, 15-yard line, 10, and down to the 5-yard line.
Great job by the offensive line. You can see him creating that perfect pocket, washing the defensive ends up the field so that Donnelly can step up and make that throw.
Absolutely, and a great run after the catch again by Jordan Evans. He's done that all season long for the Bears, not just catching the ball, but what he does with the ball after catching it.
Yeah, he's a north-south runner. He's a guy that, he's not going to be pretty out in the field and do all these different jukes. He's going to get upfield and get yards.
1st and goal to go, Brown. They have it at the Penn 5. Donnelly out of the shotgun, motions Talby to his left. Takes the snap, hands it off to Spoonie, and Spoonie is going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. John Spoonie back after missing last week's game against Cornell. He suffered a concussion in the Princeton loss here 2 weeks ago. And already over 100 yards rushing for Spoonie. 3 carries, or make that 4 now, for 109 yards and a touchdown for John Spoonie. 2nd down goal to go, Brown. They have it at the Penn 5. And now Donnelly operates out of the shotgun. And they bring in Andrew Koch in the backfield as the tailback. Donnelly rolls right, passes left, wide open, marks, touchdown Bears. What a well-designed and well-executed play, and the Bears go up 13-0.
A little bit of trickery there. You see Donnelly roll out to his right, look off all the defensive defensive backs and then throw back across the field to Marks. Great play.
Andy Marks with his second touchdown of the season. And the Bears take a 13-0 lead. And now Alexander Narocha, who's 26 for 26 on his point after attempts, will attempt the point after here. The snap, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. 6:28 to go first quarter. It's been all Brown so far. It's the Bears 14 and the Penn Quakers nothing. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football. Brown football brought to you in part by Corvias Campus Living, partnering with colleges and universities to create communities where students can live, learn, and play. We understand complex student housing challenges and deliver holistic long-term solutions. Visit us at corvias.com. Scott Credisci and Ross Walthall here at Brown Stadium. It's homecoming for the Bears, and it's been a good start to the homecoming game. 14-0. They lead the Penn Quakers with 6:28 to go in the first quarter. Bears doing a lot of things right early on in this one, Ross.
They've showed up on offense, defense, and special teams. You see a couple of good returns from Jetty, the young guy. So, yeah, very, very good job by the offense finishing off that drive. You see them on a couple of third downs convert, and they're able to get in the end zone with Marks.
Marks with his second touchdown catch in as many weeks for the Bears. The senior from Berlin, Wisconsin, puts Brown up 14-0. An 8-play, 71-yard touchdown drive that took 3 minutes and 33 seconds off the clock. Puts the Bears up 14-0 on Penn. And now Alexander Narocha will kick the ball away to the Quakers for a second time. Back deep to receive is Ron Moore, number 22. And it looks like Dexter Davis.
You know, one of the biggest differences and one of the things that decides the victory in this Penn-Brown matchup is usually the turnover battle. And a lot of times, this is where those turnovers happen. So, you know, look for special teams to have a huge influence on the outcome here.
Coach Estes told his team yesterday he really wanted special teams to make a big impact today. He thought it would be necessary to beat the Quakers. And as I mentioned, Ross, they've made big plays the last 2 weeks. Last week, Michael Walsh forced a fumble on Cornell's opening kick return of the third quarter, and it was scooped up by Twyman and taken in for a touchdown. And then 2 weeks ago, a blocked punt by Supron picked up by Walsh and taken into the end zone for a touchdown against Princeton.
Right, and last week that was the difference in the game. That, you know, that's what gave them that extra score they needed to win. So, special teams is gonna decide the victory here.
Roach's ball taken inside the 10-yard line across the 15 to the 20-yard line and tackled from behind at the 21. Good job there. Walsh comes up with the tackle. Michael Walsh has really done well the past few weeks on special teams, and we talked about earlier this week that Jordan Evans was named the Offensive Player of the Week. Well, Michael Walsh got his number 18 on that red special teams chain this week for what he's done the past couple of weeks.
He's been making plays on special teams since his first game, his freshman year. He was actually one of the highest producing tacklers on the kickoff team last year. So, yeah, I mean, it's no surprise. He is still doing a great job out there. It's good to see.
And so now Penn takes over, 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line, but they trail the Bears 14-0, 6:22 to go first quarter. Becker's going to hand it off, and Zach Luttrell comes from behind and wraps up the ball carrier for a loss of 2 yards on the play. Kulsar tackled in the backfield.
You see Penn trying to run that counter play there, and kind of the tailback stepped one way and then came back the other with a pulling guard and a fullback coming across the field. Just didn't have enough time.
2nd down 12 for the Quakers, just inside their own 20-yard line. Becker operates out of the gun, back to pass, fires, has a man, it's complete. Eric Armagost all over him though. Ryan Mitchell, after he makes the tackle out of the 28-yard line, is tackled right there.
You see Armagost and Barry trying to rip for the ball, get it out of the wide receiver's hands, like you see in the NFL almost every Sunday. You know, that's going to create the turnovers that they need.
Tell you what, Chad Barry may be the most physical player on that Brown defense. He brings it.
He really does. Yeah, it'd be hard to, I mean, there's a lot of guys that hit out there, but he's really established himself.
Penn today 1 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, and they have it 3rd down and 3 at their own 28. Becker fakes the handoff, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. 4 Brown jerseys all over him. Luttrell, Oyalawo were there, along with Walther and Sparber.
Now that is a Brown defense, swarming around the quarterback right there. He had no time.
And it's 4th down and 10, and the Quakers will have to punt the football away once again. Jetty standing at his own 40-yard line to receive the punt of Curricar. Good snap. Curricar gets his leg into it. Good punt. Jetty calls for the fair catch, and he makes it back at the 37-yard line. 4:34 to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 Brown on top of Penn, and the Bears in pretty good field position, Ross, to start this next drive.
They really are. You know, that's the difference when you have you get your defense off the field the very first series of a drive. You end up getting that field position battle, and right now the offense is in a great position to do something big.
So you talked about it in your keys to the game earlier. We've seen this before, the Bears getting off to great starts in games. Now it's about sustaining that type of play for 4 quarters.
Exactly right. You know, I mean, they've come out strong every single week, and this week is no different. If they can keep this up, this could be a big win for them.
1st and 10 for the Bears. They'll start at their own 38. Spoonie motions out of the backfield. They toss left to Spoonie with a wall of blockers, and he is tackled at about the 42, 43-yard line. So he picked up almost 5 on the play. He'll take that on 1st down.
Spoonie can do so many different things. I mean, you see that play, and he's almost acting as a wide receiver out on the edge.
And now the Bears hurry back up to the line of scrimmage, where it's 2nd down and 5 from their own 43. Donnelly out of the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 1 left, and we have a penalty marker down. Did somebody jump, or is it encroachment on the Quakers? The Brown offensive line is clapping like it's on Penn. I didn't see anybody move for Brown. The hard count by Patrick Donnelly forced the offside.
Looks about like it. Yeah, that's something that I know they've tried to implement a little bit to slow down the other team's rush. So it looks like it's working, if that's what the call is.
Yeah, they like to go with that hard count, and then he'll look to offensive coordinator Frank Sheehan for the play call. A lot of times they do it because they want to get the defense to commit, so they kind of know what they're planning on doing, who's coming, who's going.
Right. You know, and as a quarterback, you can kind of see the way that the defensive backs in that shell looks like. So you can see the coverage and then make a different call for the play.
So it's 2nd down in inches for the Bears from their own 47-yard line. Pass right. Strahan makes the catch, trying to make a man miss. He gets it across midfield into Quaker territory, takes it down inside the 47-yard line. It's a Brown 1st down.
You know, the blocking by the wide receivers right now is making a difference on the edge right now. You don't see that in a lot of teams where wide receivers are willing to get physical and push somebody around to create space.
And Lundeval again throwing a nice block to free up Strahan. 1st and 10 Brown. They have it at the Quaker 46. Handoff. Oh, and Spoonie slipped as he tried to cut it to the right in the backfield, and he'll lose about a yard on the play. He was fallen on by Austin Taps, but you wonder if Spoonie could have broken another one there.
It makes you wonder if the field is a little bit slick from last night. You know, you see Cody Talby slip, you see John go down there. You know, there may still be a little bit of water on the field.
So a loss of about a yard and a half, 2 yards. So call it 2nd down 12 for the Bears from just inside the Quakers' 48-yard line. Donnelly has Lundeval split out to the far side left. Evans to the near side right. Talby ahead of Spoonie, who gets the handoff, and Spoonie up the middle takes it 4 down inside the 41-yard line, but we have a penalty marker down on the play. Right at the snap of the ball, a penalty marker was down. May have had illegal motion on the Bears. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like the fullback may not have been set there. The fullback went in motion behind Donnelly. It looks like that may be what it is.
Penalties have certainly hurt the Bears this year. Against Bryant, fortunately it didn't bother them. They beat the Bulldogs easily, but against Princeton they were penalized 15 times in that game for 137 yards, and Coach Estes was not happy at all about that. It's something they worked on cleaning up in practice before the Cornell game, and they did. They were only penalized 3 times against the Big Red.
It's something that's preventable, and it's something that's so easy to improve. So I'm glad. It looks like they've made some changes.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 16 now for the Bears, backed up in their own territory. Fake the handoff to Spoonie. Now Donnelly setting up the screen pass to Spoonie, and Spoonie trying to get out of a tackle, and he can't. No gain on the play as the Quakers do a good job of stopping the screen pass to John Spoonie.
1 block away from having a big play there. You know, Spoonie on the edge. He turned around, and there was just like one guy in his face from a missed block.
And so now the Bears will bring on extra receivers here on 3rd down and long. Brown today is 1 for 1 on their 3rd down conversions, but this one is 3rd down and 17. From their own 47-yard line. Trips 3 receivers to the near side right. Jordan Evans splits out to the far side left. Talby stays in the backfield. Donnelly back to pass. Steps up. Fires. It's complete to Phelan at the 44-yard line of the Quakers. And Phelan didn't think he was down, and he kept running with it, but the whistle blows. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and about 6 for the Bears. I'd like to see the replay on this one. Phelan seemed emphatic about the fact that he was not down. For those of you watching on BrownBears.tv or Fox College Sports, I think his knee did touch the ground.
It may have.
I think he thought he was on top of the Penn defender. So Grant Senni comes on to punt for the first time today, averaging 37.3 yards per punt. But more impressive for the Bears is they have not yet allowed a return yard to their opponents in the punt game.
That says a lot about the coverage team.
Senni gets the snap from Cortland Clevet. Good punt, and it is going to be returned from the 10 to the 15-yard line and run out of bounds by Berry and Clevet at the 22. So a return at 12 yards, and the Quakers will take over with 35 seconds to go in the first quarter, trailing Brown by the score of 14-0. We'll take a timeout, too, from Nelligan Sports. This is Brown Bears football. Brown football brought to you by the Hotel Providence, the only AAA 4-diamond luxury boutique hotel in Providence, offering you unparalleled style and service. The Hotel Providence, preferred hotel of Brown University Athletics. Scott Credisci and Ross Walthall back at Brown Stadium, where the Bears lead the Penn Quakers on homecoming day, 14-0 with 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. What a great day it is to come out and watch a college football game here in Rhode Island. Temperatures in the mid-60s. It's sunny. Just a great fall day here at Brown Stadium. And the Bears treating their home fans to some pretty good football so far, Ross.
They really are. Yeah, they've came to play. It's a testament to the way that they prepared this week. The last couple of weeks, they've come out strong. They got a good win against Cornell. And, clearly they came ready to play against a pretty tough, physical Penn football team.
Coach Estes still talking to the line judge. I don't think he was happy about that call on Cody Talby, the illegal motion on the offense. And I think he was still trying to make his point during that commercial timeout.
Yeah, that's one of those things that's a tough call because, the referee has to see that player has been static before the play for, I think it's about a second. And, Talby stopped, but I guess it's kind of splitting hairs about how long exactly he had been in that position.
So the Penn offense, which really hasn't been able to get anything going so far, will take over this time at their own 22-yard line. 1st and 10 as Becker brings his troops up to the line of scrimmage. And now they have Kyle Wilcox, the junior, in at tailback. Wilcox has not yet had a carry today. It's been all Spencer Kolsar. Play action pass. Becker hit while he throws it, and it's incomplete. Hit on the play by Jacob Walther, and that forced that pass to be errant.
That is a young man that worked very hard in the offseason. You see the difference. Last year he was just learning the defensive schemes, and now he is one of the biggest producers on the D-line.
2nd down 10, Quakers at their own 22. Becker operates out of the gun. Standing to his right is Wilcox. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Becker back to pass, rolls right, sets, fires right, has a man, it's complete, and run out of bounds on the far side by Ade Oyalawo is Ty Taylor after the catch. And a pickup of 9 on the reception for Taylor. Let's set the Penn offense and Brown defense for you. Penn starts with Chris Bush at center. Steve Shostak and Sean McGinn are the guards, and Jason Schwartner and Matt Kiefer are the tackles. Ryan O'Malley is the starting tight end. Ryan Mitchell and Ty Taylor the starting receivers. At quarterback today, Ryan Becker for the injured Billy Ragone. Matt Schwartz, the fullback, and Spencer Kolsar was the starting tailback today. 3rd down 1 for Penn. They are 1 for 3 on 3rd down conversions today. Out of the gun, the direct snap goes to the backup freshman quarterback Strauss, and he runs forward again for the 2nd time today, and he picks up a 1st down.
Same play as we saw last time. Exactly. I see that quarterback dive. He just follows the center. Got another 2-yard gain.
Yeah, you just got to know when he's in there. That's what he's in there for.
Right,
really,
exactly.
Overplay the run. And that's the end of the first quarter here at Brown Stadium. Our score after one is Brown 14, Penn nothing. We'll be back with second quarter action after this. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football. Scott Cardicci, Ross Walthall back at Brown Stadium. Start of the second quarter. Bears lead Penn 14-0. Penn will have it 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line after the first down run by Strauss. Gives us a chance to set the Brown defense. The starters today were Brett Polachek and Ludovic Richardson on the inside at D tackle. On the outside, Michael Yules and John Bumpus. The inside backers, Xavier Russo and Dan Giovacchini. The outside backers, Ade Oyalawo and Zach Luttrell. Starting corners, Emery Polly and Matt Belisi and Eric Armagost is your starting free safety. Now, we said that Luda Richardson was a starting D tackle. I don't think we've seen Luda back in there since he left due to the injury. We've seen Donnie Sproul and Jacob Walter in there at D tackle instead. In fact, I'm looking at the sideline. I don't know if I see number 92 down there. Can you see him, Ross?
No, I haven't seen him, and I hope it's nothing serious. But to be frank, it seems like Walter and Donnie Sproul have really filled in the gaps there.
They have. And I'm looking right now at Dewey Jarvis, number 49, sitting on the near sideline. I would guess Dewey's probably done for the day. It looked like his knee was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, you see him limping a little bit down there. Hopefully nothing too serious.
Start of the second quarter. Quakers have it 1st and 10 at their own 33, trailing Brown 14-0. Becker comes out and lines up under center. Backs in the I formation behind him. Schallegren, the fullback, ahead of Wilcox, the tailback. Long cadence. Becker takes a snap. Toss right is going to go to Wilcox, and Wilcox is tripped up on the play by Supron after a pickup of about 6 yards on the carry.
You can see the difference between Brandon Colavita and Wilcox here. You know, Wilcox, good back in his own right, but a little bit easier to take down than the big, strong back in Colavita.
2nd down and 4 for the Quakers from their own 39-yard line. Becker up under center. Backs in the I formation again. Wilcox is the tailback. Becker handed off. Wilcox up the middle. Giovacchini meets him and tackles him after a gain of maybe a yard or 2 out to the 41. Dan Giovacchini, the junior middle linebacker. Bears got a couple of good ones at middle linebacker. Giovacchini and Russo, and they're both juniors.
Both juniors, both have a little bit of playing experience, and frankly, you know, they're the future of the defense right now. They're leaders, and it seems like they're doing really, really well this season.
Quakers 2 for 4 on 3rd down. They have it 3rd and 2 from their own 41. Becker's going to hand it off to Wilcox, and he's met by Oyalawo and brought down a yard shy of the first down marker. What a play by Ade.
What a hit. Yeah, he's a heck of a player, Scott. Ade, another guy, quiet guy, doesn't talk a lot even out in the field, but sure he can bring the wood.
The senior from Bowie, Maryland, Ade Oyalawo, comes up with a big tackle, and he forces the Penn punting unit to come onto the field. Matt Curicar will kick it away to Alexander Jetty, who stands at his own 20-yard line. Curicar gets his leg into a good spiraling punt, backing Jetty up inside his own 10, and he fumbles the football. Bears come up with it at their own 6-yard line.
That was a scary one, Scott.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Luckily, Emery Polly there to recover the fumble.
Jetty's had a couple of fumbles this year. You know, he's only a freshman, and you know, when you make that leap from high school to college, you know, it's not an easy one. And he's a tremendous athlete with great speed, but you know, the hits are a little harder at this level than they were in high school as well.
No doubt about it. It's good to see him out there because that's kind of a tradition here at Brown. A lot of young, athletic guys that are the future of the program cut their teeth a little bit returning balls.
1st and 10 Brown. They'll start this drive at their own 6, and they're going to hand it off right up the middle to Spooney, and he's going to go again. John Spooney at midfield at the 40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, touchdown. A 94-yard touchdown run for John Spooney, and the Bears lead it 20-0. My goodness.
John Spooney saw a little bit of daylight. You see a big block there by Cole Hooper to open it up, and he is gone.
This kid is unreal.
You see the way he holds the ball real high and tight. Seems like the ball is not even moving in his hands, and he just churns those legs, and he passes every single one of the defensive players up.
I'm getting tired just watching him run. He's unbelievable.
No doubt about it.
John Spooney now with 202 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns in just over a quarter of football.
He's just getting started today. Clearly he is healthy.
Naroch's point after is good, and the Bears have opened up a 21-0 lead on Penn with 12:53 to go in the first half. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football. Scott Credisci and Ross Waltall back at Brown Stadium, where John Spooney is having himself one heck of a game. John Spooney today with 6 carries for 202 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the Bears have opened up a 21-0 lead on the Penn Quakers.
You know, I don't want to jump the gun, but he's having player of the week type statistics already. I mean, this is incredible.
Are you kidding me? He could take the rest of the afternoon off and likely win Offensive Player of the Week.
There's no doubt.
You're doing it against a 3-0 undefeated first-place team.
That's right. And there's a lot of good backs in this league that might have about 200 yards on the season right now.
Incredible.
Quite a day for that young man.
My son went trick-or-treating as John Spooney on Halloween night, his favorite Brown football player. He picked a pretty good one, huh?
Can't blame him.
Alexander Narocha will kick the ball deep for the Bears. Let's see, Penn keeps sending different guys back deep to receive. Looks like they have either Danny Ferrens or Eric Fiore back deep to receive, along with number 22, Ron Moore. Waiting for Fox College Sports to come back from their commercial break. Either that or they're showing John Spooney highlights. Eric Fiore back deep to receive, along with Ron Moore. As Roach tees the ball up at the 35-yard line, once again for the Bears, set to kick it away to the Penn Quakers. Narocha gets his leg into this one, high end over end, and this one's going to be taken by Fiore at the 5-yard line, across the 10 to the 15-yard line to the 20, where he's tripped up across the 20-yard line. Nice tackle made there by Nick Mazar.
Great tackle there. You see the way he went low, took him out at the knee. That's a high percentage tackle there. Accelerated through the return man, and that's how you're going to get him to the ground.
What do they call that? Knifing the runner?
Yeah, that's what they call that, and that's a textbook knife right there.
So it's 1st and 10 for Penn. They'll start this drive at their own 24, but now they trail Brown by the score of 21-0. Becker and the Quakers offense back out onto the field. 2 receivers to the far side left, 1 to the near side right. And Wilcox stands to the left of Becker, who operates out of the shotgun. Now the tight end motions from the right to the left side and sets there O'Malley. Becker's going to pass on 1st down. Looks downfield, and it's overthrown and intercepted. Supron comes up with a pick at midfield, and the Bears get the first turnover of the game.
And you see the pressure there on the quarterback create that play.
Ooh, did we have a late hit on Becker? Yes, we did. Roughing the passer will negate the interception. And a 15-yard penalty for an automatic 1st down.
That's a tough call. You know, the defenseman was right there in his face as he threw the ball. You know, whether or not he hit him too late or not, I guess that's the referee's judgment call.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, and you probably know this well, the rules in football in recent years have really been made to, I think, favor the offense and take a little away from the defense. You know, you guys, you try to play instinctive out there, and sometimes now you find yourself having to stop and think, you know, is this going to be a late hit? Is this going to be a personal foul? And it's too bad.
It is too bad. It's understandable why they have those rules in place, but it's hard as a defensive player.
On first down, Becker back to pass again. Pass batted down at the line of scrimmage, and that is the freshman, Tom Kutschke.
He is so long. You see, he's rushing, doing a bull rush up the field, and he just puts one of those big, long arms up in the air, swats it down.
Kutschke had a Matthews pass that he batted down last week in Ithaca in his first varsity action of the year. Second down 10. Penn with the ball at their own 39-yard line. Becker back to pass, looks right, fires right, has a man, and Supron does a nice job of coming up and hitting the receiver, Kulsar, who came out of the backfield to make the catch.
On second down and 10, you can give them that pass all day if you tackle well. 3-4 yard gain there, and it's still 3rd and 6.
And it's 3rd and 6 for the Quakers. Penn today 2 for 5 on their third down conversions. 3rd and 6. Becker back to pass, looks left, fires left, has a man, it's caught, and it's a first down inside Brown territory. The catch was made by Ty Taylor. Emery Polly on the coverage, but Taylor picks up the first down catch. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Quakers at the Bears' 45-yard line. They hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Becker out of the gun, back to pass, rolls right. Now he's going to run with it. He steps up, and he's got some running room, and he picks up a first down inside the 35-yard line, tackled at the Bears' 33. So the Penn hurry-up offense here, moving the ball for the Quakers.
You can see Becker doesn't have the same speed as Ragone, and he's not nearly the same weapon on the ground, but he can still run. He can still move, and it's something you have to respect, and frankly, if he tucks the ball down, the defense has to come up and make a play.
So the Quakers this time huddle up, and they have it 1st and 10 at the Brown 34-yard line. Becker up under center now. Wilcox is the eye back. They motion the tight end O'Malley right to left. Now he motions back to the right on the delay. Becker back to pass, looks left side, fires high, incomplete. The intended receiver on the far side was Connor Scott. Ball thrown a little too high and incomplete. 2nd down 10 Quakers.
Seems like every time Penn drops back to throw, there's a Bears defensive lineman in his face, or at least breathing down his neck.
I'd love to see the replay, and obviously we'll watch the film tomorrow, but I'd love to see that roughing the passer on the Supron interception to see if that was a legit call.
Right, that was a close one for sure. I guess we'll see. The tape will tell.
2nd and 10 Penn at the Brown 34-yard line. Becker out of the gun, empty backfield. Takes the snap, looks right, fires right, and it's complete to his tight end O'Malley, and O'Malley spins down for a first down. He's at the 23-yard line of the Bears.
You see Penn starting to morph their offensive strategy here. They came out trying to run the ball down the Bears' throat, and they shut it down a couple of times. So now they're dropping back and passing a little bit more.
First and 10 for the Quakers at the Brown 23-yard line. Empty backfield again, double tight end, 3 receivers, and Becker out of the gun. Polly showing, Oyalowo showing blitz off the corner, and here he comes. Back to pass, and he's hit by Oyalowo, and it's intercepted by Polly. And Polly tackled at the 7-yard line. And that was created by the pressure from Ade Oyalowo.
You see it again. If you can get pressure in Becker's face, the ball's going to have to sail up in the air, and that's exactly what Emery probably took advantage of there.
And by the way, great to see Luda Richardson back out on the field as well.
That's wonderful. Yeah,
unsportsmanlike conduct on Brown after the interception. It's going to be first down for the Bears. And so they'll back him up half the distance from the 7 to about the 3.5 yard line. Emery Polly with his 4th interception of the season. He had 2 against Rhode Island here under the lights. 1 last week to seal the victory over Cornell on the last play of the game, and now here against the Penn Quakers to thwart what could have been their first scoring drive of the game. And the Bears will start this drive at their own 3-yard line. I'll tell you what, I try to hit him with a play action here. They've got to respect Spoonie after those
absolutely.
2 long runs.
And both of them started about here on the field.
Donnelly going to hand it off to Spoonie, and Spoonie's going to take it ahead into the 10-yard line. A gain of almost 7 yards for John Spoonie on first down.
And you see the Penn defense have 8 or 9 guys up in the box, all closing down to try to stop Spoonie's rushing attack.
John Spoonie today with that carry, now up to 209 yards rushing on 7 carries, along with 2 touchdowns. Second down 3 for the Bears from just across their own 10-yard line. They motion Lundeval from left to right. Donnelly out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Hand off to Spoonie, trying the right side this time. And Spoonie driving forward. And he's going to be stopped. It looks like he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down marker. Needed to gain the 14, and it looks like he got to about the 13-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 for the Bears.
You know, something we haven't mentioned, Spoonie's having a great day, a lot of good runs. This offensive line has not missed a block the whole day. They have created holes time in and time out to give Spoonie that space to make the plays that he can.
No question, the senior offensive line across the board. They bring in an extra tight end, Alexander Viox, here on 3rd down and less than a yard to go. And they hand it to Spoonie, and Spoonie makes one defender miss, but he can't make a second miss. They lose yardage on the carry, and the Bears are going to have to punt from deep in their own territory.
This is another one of those key points in the game. Anytime you're going to kick the ball off to the other team this deep in your own territory, you got to have great blocking on the punt team.
And Senni will take the snap from Cortland Clevet about a yard deep in his own end zone. Sebastian Jaskowski back at his own 46-yard line to receive the Senni punt. Senni gets a good punt away, backing Jaskowski up to his own 40 where he makes the fair catch. Great boot there by Grant Senni. With 8:17 to go in the first half, our score is Brown 21 and Penn nothing. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football. Brown football brought to you by University Orthopedics with 9 specialties, including elbow and shoulder surgery, sports medicine, and pediatrics. No one else is you. No one else is University Orthopedics. Scott Cardicci, Ross Walthall at Brown Stadium. 8:17 to go first half. Bears lead the Penn Quakers 21-0. Let's take a look at the Ivy League scoreboard. They're at halftime at the Yale Bowl in New Haven, Connecticut. Bulldogs lead the Columbia Lions 23-6. And that will be the next opponent for Brown. They will head down to Yale next week. Also, with 3:37 to go in the first quarter, Princeton leads Cornell 15-3 down in New Jersey. And a 5 o'clock kickoff, Harvard will host Dartmouth a little bit later on. In the Northeast Conference, the Bryant Bulldogs are on the road at Robert Morris, trailing 10-3 at halftime there. And while we have a moment, we can also update the top 25 college football scoreboard for you. Games underway in top 25 play today. 4th-ranked Ohio State with a 14-0 first quarter lead at Purdue. Check that. They're almost at halftime, and Ohio State leads Purdue 42-0. 14th-ranked South Carolina leading Mississippi State 17-10. 4 minutes to go until halftime there. And 17th-ranked Northern Illinois leading UMass 42-13 at the half. Here it's 21-0 Bears over Penn. 8:17 to go first half. And it's 1st and 10 for the Quakers at their own 40-yard line. Becker will operate from up under center. With backs in the I formation, it's Kulsar back in at tailback. O'Malley, the tight end, motions. Becker back to pass, being pressured, gets rid of the football, and we're going to have a hold on Penn here. Get great pressure right up the middle again by the Bears.
Becker, the Florida State transfer, I mean, he's a great quarterback, but he's got no time. He's got no time to throw back there. The defensive line and the linebackers are just creating too much pressure.
Oh, they're going to call personal foul, face mask on Penn. Didn't see that one coming. Saw the flag at the line of scrimmage and saw the Bears defensive line just collapse the pocket in a hurry. You thought it was a hold. And instead, a personal foul and a face mask, a 15-yard penalty. So Penn, which stood to get the ball in great field position when the Bears punted from their own end zone, a great punt by Senni and a 15-yard penalty. And now they're back at their own 25 where it's first down and 25. Becker back to pass. Steps up, fires across the middle. It's complete to Connor Scott, and Scott is brought down at the 30-yard line. Xavier Russo, Dan Giovacchini, Ade Oyalawo, all there on the stop. Going to be second down and 20 for the Quakers from their own 30-yard line. Becker back to pass, steps up, fires it. It's caught. Emery Polly makes the tackle of Connor Scott as Scott takes it out to the 44-yard line. So Penn had it first and 25, and now they've got a manageable third down here. It's 3rd and 6. And they hurry up to the line of scrimmage. No huddle. Trips 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Becker out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Becker rolls right. Now he's being pressured from behind. Doesn't feel it. Gets rid of the football and just has to throw it away. Xavier Russo tripped them up from behind, and a good pressure put on by the Bears, and that time good coverage by the secondary as well.
There really was. They stayed home, and they were right where they needed to be.
So the Bears defense once again forcing a Penn punt. For the 4th time today, the Quakers will punt the football away.
You know, something I've seen in this game since the very first snap, when the Bears are on defense, there's 11 silver helmets that are all coming together and meeting the ball carrier to make the tackle.
Curicar to kick it away to Jetty. Another good punt by Curicar. Jetty calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 13-yard line. 7:03 to go, first half. Brown 21, Penn nothing from Nelligan Sports. This is Brown Bears football. Brown football brought to you by the Brown Sports Foundation. Committed to providing support that ensures a quality athletic and educational experience for our student athletes. To learn how you can make an impact for your favorite Brown athletic program, log on to sportsfoundation.brown.edu or call 401-863-1900. Scott Cardisci, Ross Walthall back at Brown Stadium. Bears lead Penn 21-0, 7:03 to go in the first half. Today's game being televised nationally on Fox College Sports Central. And the Bears playing well for that national TV audience, which is always good for recruiting, right, Ross?
Oh, it really is. I mean, as a player, when you get to see the team that you're looking at and may want to attend as a student athlete, it's great to see them on a national stage like this make such a statement.
You know, it's funny, we talked about the Mutual Admiration Society between Coach Estes and Coach Bagnoli, and I think it's because both programs recruit similar types of players. Good, tough, physical kids. Kind of that blue-collar work ethic, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you see that on both teams. Very, very physical guys. And frankly, they're student athletes, guys that are tough, but also serious in the classroom.
1st and 10, Brown. They'll start this drive at their own 14-yard line. Donnelly operates out of the shotgun. He's going to pass on first down, complete to Lundeval across the 20, hit at the 21, and driven back. But a nice gain there of 7 yards on first down on the catch by Telef Lundeval. That's his first of the day.
And Lundeval is the type of blue-collar guy I guess you're talking about. You see a lot of wide receivers, flashy guys, people, kind of self-centered. But Lundeval, he's a teammate. He goes out there, blocks, and makes plays for his teammates on the field.
2nd and 3 for the Bears. Andrew Koken at tailback. Talby, the fullback, lined up in the broken eye to the right ahead of him. 2 receivers to the far side right. Donnelly out of the shotgun on 2nd and 3 for Brown from the 21. High snap. Donnelly takes it, rolls right, fires right to Strahan, and Strahan takes it out maybe just past the original line of scrimmage for a gain of only about a half yard. But Bears are fortunate to make a play out of that, as that was a high snap there from Nathan Svensson that Donnelly was able to finally corral. We haven't even set the Brown offense for you today. Nate Svensson, the starting center. Dan Austin and Ryan McCourt, the starting guards. And Cole Hooper and Clay Pano, the starting tackles. Andy Marks, the starting tight end. Lundeval and Evans at receiver. Patrick Donnelly, the starting quarterback. Cody Talby, the starting fullback. And John Spooney is the starting tailback. Strahan motions into the backfield. They fake the handoff to him on the sweep. Set up the screen to Koch, and he's going to be tackled short of the first down. Picked up a yard, but it's going to bring up 4th down and about 2. So Grant Senni is going to have to come on and kick it away again. Senni's last punt was a good one. love to duplicate that effort here.
You know, Senny has a good leg, strong leg. He'll get it down the field, but he also gets it up in the air enough that the coverage team's able to get down there, and I think that's why opposing receivers haven't had a good time against him.
Senny gets his leg into this one. And it bounces, and did that hit a Penn defender?
It looked like it did.
Shannon recovers it for the Bears!
Wow.
It hit the back of a Penn defender, and Brown comes up with it. And now the officials are having a conversation at the 40-yard line, and Penn is pointing like it's going to be their ball.
And that's one of those situations as a player you got to be very careful, because when the football is coming down after a punt, you don't know where it's going to go, so you got to get away. We
just saw the replay. It hit the helmet of a Brown player and then went off of a Penn player. So it hit a Brown player first before it went off of a Penn player, and that's why the Quakers will have the football. So Penn will have it 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line with 4:51 to go in the half, and the Bears leading 21-0. Bears would love to finish this half off strong here, come up with a stop, get the ball back. Even if they don't score again, they'll love to keep that goose egg on the scoreboard.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That'd be a great way to go into the second half.
Becker comes out with 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. He operates out of the shotgun and will pass on 1st down. Becker steps up in the pocket, gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Again, he was under pressure as he got rid of it to the tight end O'Malley.
He doesn't look very comfortable back there.
And, you know, it seems like Penn's really started to go almost exclusively to the passing game, down 3 touchdowns here.
Exactly right, and it's a little bit uncharacteristic of how they played the last few games, but you can't really blame them because, frankly, the Bears' defense has been strong and been able to stop them on 1st and 2nd down.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass by Becker. Becker today is 8 of 15 passing for 70 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. And he's back to pass here. Steps up amidst pressure again, and Joe Bikini's going to track him down and tackle him at the 46-yard line after a 5-yard run.
That's exactly what you want to see if the quarterback gets flushed out of the pocket. You see the defensive line forcing Becker to step up and try to run, and then you see those interior backers close down like a vice and then get him to the ground.
Quakers 3 for 7 on 3rd down. Today they have it 3rd and 5 at their own 46. Becker to pass, fires it, and it is caught by O'Malley for a 1st down. There's a penalty marker down in the secondary as well. As it stands, the catch would be good enough for a 1st down. Let's wait to see what the call's all about.
It's great to see Ludovic Richardson back out there.
Ludovic Richardson hurt early in this game, back out on the field. We don't know yet what the call is here. Al Bagnoli's looking for an explanation, and the official had his hand out trying to hold him off. Penalty was on the Bears, so it will be declined. Oh, actually, no, it's pass interference. Is that what it is?
I believe it was defensive holding.
Okay, so 10-yard penalty. So they picked up 6 on the play. They'll take the penalty instead, which is 10 yards. And it's a 1st down to the Brown 44-yard line. 4:12 to go in the half. Bears leading at 21-0. Penn has it 1st and 10 to the Brown 44. Connor Scott splits out to the far side left. It's Ryan Mitchell to the near side right, along with Ty Taylor. Becker out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, back to pass, fires deep down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Pass was intended for Ryan Mitchell.
Great coverage there. I mean, you see Ade running side by side. Very good job about not getting that interference to give them an easy play.
And that's a linebacker in coverage with a wide receiver. And I say linebacker, as you know, in Brown's 4-4 defense, those outside backers, they act as linebackers, corners, and safeties, really, you know, kind of a hybrid position.
Yeah, it takes a unique player to be able to do all of that because they have to be able to rush and go against some offensive linemen, but also be in coverage.
Becker on 2nd down, back to pass, flushed out of the pocket right, and just has to get rid of the football. Joe Bikini and Bumpus were trailing him. Even Ewells was putting pressure on the backside. Looked like he was being held a little bit.
That's one of those situations where in Little League they'll tell you, just throw it to your mom up in the stands because he has no time at all to get it to a wide receiver there.
So now it's 3rd and 10 for the Quakers. from the Brown 44-yard line. Becker, 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Bears showing blitz. Here they come, and they set up the screen. It's incomplete. Joe Vacchini knocks Becker down as he gets rid of the football. Mike Kelleher dials up the blitz, and it works.
You know, if I'm the offensive coordinator for Penn, I don't know what you go with at this point.
Yeah, that's the right play call for a blitz.
Exactly right.
They could make it happen. So now on 4th down, once again, the Quakers will kick it away. Curricar set to punt it to Jetty. Jetty stands at his own 10. Low snap, Curricar gets it. High kick. Jetty comes up, calls for the fair catch, and he makes it at the 17-yard line. 3:27 to go first half. It's Brown 21, Penn nothing. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football. Brown football brought to you in part by Academy Bus, the official ground transportation provider for Brown University. To learn more about our services and industry-renowned fleet of modern motor coaches, visit us online at academybus.com or call 877-961-4100. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll be joined in studio by one of Ross's classmates from the class of 2013 and a fellow D tackle, Stephen Fox, will join us here at halftime. Right now, the Bears on top of Penn, 21-0, 3:27 to go first half, and the Brown offense will take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. How about Patrick Donnelly's line today? 11 of 12 passing for 84 yards and a touchdown.
That's efficiency right there.
It certainly is. He hasn't had to do a lot with number 19, John Spooney. 9 carries, 211 yards, and 2 touchdowns here in the first half.
It shows just how complementary those two positions are. If you can get the running back and get him some yards, it opens up everything that Patrick Donnelly can do.
Koch is in a tailback right now for the Bears. They fake the handoff to him, and the pass deflected at the line of scrimmage, and it's intercepted by Penn. That's a big play right there as Penn, searching for some type of momentum, gets it on a deflected first down pass and an interception at the Brown 21. Coming up with a pick was Joey Grosso, number 11, a linebacker.
Those are the type of plays where if you can tip a ball that's up in the air, you don't know what's going to happen. And it clearly turned out in Penn's favor there.
1st and 10 for the Quakers. They have it at the Bears' 21-yard line after the interception by Donnelly. Kulsar is the tailback. Becker up under center. Becker back to pass. Pocket collapses. He's sacked in the backfield again. Bumpus is there. Sproul is there. Yules is there. Loss of 5 back to the 26-yard line. Give credit to this Bears defensive front. They're really collapsing that pocket.
And you see them giving pressure there without even a blitz of any sort. That really helps your defense when the defensive line can take on that responsibility of pressuring the quarterback.
2nd and 15, Penn at the Brown 26. Becker to pass again. Steps up, fires, and Adeoyalowo slipped, and the catch and run is made for a first down to the Brown 9-yard line by Ryan Mitchell. And right there you had a Bears defender, Adeoyalowo, slip, and it led to a big play for Penn.
It sure did, and that's the type of play where, you know, you got to get the first guy there needs to make the tackle. If you don't, it gives them a whole lot of space to make more plays and get more yards.
1st and goal to go, Quakers. They have it at the Bears' 8 with 2:20 to go in the half. 21-0, Brown on top of Penn, threatening to score for the first time today. Becker out of the gun is going to hand it off to Wilcox. Up the middle, he takes it across the 5-yard line down to the 4.
This is a situation that the Bears defense is generally pretty good in the red zone. You know, the defensive line and the linebackers, a lot of good guys going against the run here. They've had a lot of success so far today, so we'll see how this turns out.
2nd down, goal to go, Penn. They have it at the 4-yard line of Brown. Becker up under center, back split behind him. They have both fullbacks, Schwartz and Shallgren, in the game. And now we get a timeout call by Brown with 1:42 to go in the half. We'll keep it right here.
And you wonder with that set whether Brown wanted to get an extra defensive lineman in there.
I can tell you this. With those 2 fullbacks in there, that's kind of a curious look, but they like to throw to their backs and their tight ends when they get in the red zone. Penn coming into this game, I believe, had a total of 10 touchdown passes, and I believe 6 of them were to running backs or tight ends. You know, so they like to throw to the backs and tight ends when they get down in the red area. Because you got 2 fullbacks, you wonder if they're going to run the ball with a fullback here down at the 4-yard line.
Right, they'll show you one thing and then give you another. And for a team that runs the ball as much as they do, it seems like that'd be a good strategy for them.
So the timeout call by the Bears here. We'll see what happens on 2nd down goal to go from the 4. Quakers have it. Becker up under center. And now they line up with a wishbone. 3 backs. Fake the handoff. Becker rolls right looking to pass, and it is incomplete. Oyalawo, a nice job in coverage coming out of the backfield. They were trying to get it to Matt Schwartz.
Just what you were talking about there, Scott. Yeah, you see the fullback go straight into the flat and look back to the quarterback. Looks like the Bears defense was ready for that.
Big play here. Can the Bears defense hold Penn to a possible field goal try? Can they get off the field on 3rd down? 3rd and goal to go. Quakers have it at the 4-yard line. Minute 37 to go in the half. Bears bring on extra DBs, expecting pass here by Penn. Becker out of the gun, back to pass, fires it underneath, and the Bears come up with a stop at the 1-yard line. Kolsar got out of the initial tackle, but he couldn't get out of the second.
And I guess we'll see what the Penn offense is going to do here, whether they're going to kick or try to go for it and try to get that yard.
Al Bagnoli is going to call a timeout to talk it over. I think they want to go for the touchdown down 21-0.
That's a huge difference there between getting 3 and getting 7 going into the second half.
And from the Bears standpoint, they're hoping they get 0. It's a big
right.
play in this football game, Ross, because you're right. I mean, we're talking about momentum going into that locker room. Penn scores, they're feeling pretty good about themselves going into the locker room despite being down 21-7. Bears come up with a stop here. That'll really energize this team going into halftime.
Right, that's a huge difference in the score, and also just mentally, that's a huge advantage to go in and keep the opposing offense to 0 points for the first half.
See if the Quakers do decide to go for it. My feeling is they probably will here, down 21-0. If this were a little bit closer, maybe a 10-0 game or 14-0, they'd probably take the 3. Their field goal kicker, Loftus, is only 3 of 10 on field goal tries this year. He's already had 2 blocked, and it looks like they're going to bring the offense out onto the field here. They are. Big play in this football game. It's 4th down, goal to go, Penn at the 1-yard line. Becker up under center, and they line up with that full house backfield again. Becker takes the snap. It's going to be an option right, and he's going to be tackled. The Bears come up with the 4th down stop.
What a stop by the defense there. That is so good. By all those players rushing up and getting into the backfield. You see them, I think that was a loss of 2.
Polachek, I think, was the first man in there. And it is a loss of a yard back to the 2-yard line. How about that goal line stand by the Bears? Remember having some of those yourself?
Last year at Georgetown.
You know what? That's a great point. Last year, didn't they have it like 1st and goal on the 1 or 2?
That's exactly right. Yeah, and I think they ended up in a 4th and 3 situation. They lost a couple yards, and we ended up, they went for it, and we held them to 0.
So now the Bears have it at their own 2. Donnelly hands it off to Koch, and check that, Spooney. And Spooney takes it ahead to the 3-yard line. Gain of a yard by Spooney out to the 3-yard line. And now Spooney comes out and Koch comes in. Evans comes in as well. Viox, the 2nd tight end, goes to the bench. Surprised Bagnoli's not using timeouts. He's got 2 left. Surprised he's not using them here, figuring now if we stop the Bears, we can force them to punt from deep in their own territory. You never know. Mistakes could happen at this area of the field.
Absolutely.
Bears are content to see this clock run. Donnelly again operates out of the shotgun. 2nd and 9. Hand off to Koch, and Koch tries the middle and takes it out to the 6. Gives him a little breathing room there. And now Penn's going to use a timeout with 19 seconds to go in the half.
Interesting they waited till now to do that.
Yeah, I mean, now you get a little more breathing room, even if you don't pick up the first down if you're Brown. I mean, I would be inclined, if I'm the Bears, to run it again, force them to use that timeout and punt the football away to them. They're not going to have any time. They'll have the ball near midfield, but they won't have any time to do anything except for maybe a Hail Mary pass.
Exactly right. Yeah, I think it's from the Bears' perspective, they're going to try to run the ball here and see if they can't maybe run to the outside, get the clock to take a little bit more. And I don't see the Penn offense having much time at all to run many plays.
It's going to be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go for the Bears from their own 6-yard line. Donnelly comes back into the huddle. So Penn has 1 timeout remaining. The scoreboard clock says that both teams have 3, but that's incorrect. The Bears have used 1 and Penn has used 2 here in the first half. Koch is the tailback. Donnelly out of the gun on 3rd down and 6 for the Bears. And Donnelly's going to pass from deep in his own end zone down the field for Lundeval, complete. 30, 35, 40, midfield. Lundeval at the 40, 35. And he's going to be taken down and out of bounds with 7 seconds to go. And how about this? The Bears might get some points out of this one.
Absolutely. I mean, they might even be in field goal range at this point.
Alexander Rocha yesterday hit a 57-yarder in practice.
They're absolutely in his range then.
How about that?
I think the Penn defense thought that the Bears are going to be content to just run one more play up the middle, let the clock tick a little bit, and Phil Estes decides to take a shot.
And now Narocha will come on to attempt a field goal try with the line of scrimmage, the 27. It's going to be about a 44, 45-yard attempt. Alexander Phelan looks like he's going to set up at the 44-yard line or there, 34-yard line thereabouts.
The Bears can expect to get all kinds of pressure on this, so it's going to really come down to Alexander's foot as well as the blocking up front.
His career long is 46. His season long is 32. Narocha out of the hold of Phelan. A 44-yard field goal attempt with 6 seconds to go until halftime, and now Bagnoli wants a timeout. I'm going to try to ice Narocha. That's the final timeout of the half for the Penn Quakers. And Coach Estes comes out onto the field to talk to his field goal unit, and in particular, Alexander Narocha. You know, it's funny, I was talking to you off the air about the Brown U Football Facebook page that I run for the program, and ironically enough, the things that for some reason get the most hits and most views are his field goal attempts, the videos that I take in practice. He hit one this summer to get the team out of conditioning. I don't know what it was, like a 50-yard field goal, and the team went crazy, and it got about 15,000 views.
That's incredible. I did not know there was that many views.
Narocha to attempt a 44-yard field goal at the end of the half. Snap, hold is down. Narocha's kick is up. It is on the way, and it is good. As time expires, Narocha splits the uprights from 44, and the Bears take a 24-0 lead into the halftime locker room. When we come back on the Dexter Credit Union Halftime Report, we'll be joined by Stephen Fox. Our score at halftime, Brown 24, Penn nothing. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football. Scott Cardicci, Ross Walthall back at Brown Stadium. We're just about set for the second half to begin, and the Bears on homecoming day leading the Penn Quakers by the score of 24-0. Keep in mind the Bears won the opening coin toss in this game, and they elected to receive the football, which they did to start the game. So that means Penn will get it to start the third quarter down by 24. Bears offense, Bears defense, special teams all playing well in the first half, looking to carry that over here into half number 2. So waiting for television to come back Fox College Sports Central televising today's game live. And I haven't checked the television schedule, but sometimes, Ross, they'll replay these games on Fox College Sports. So I hope that's the case because I forgot to set the DVR before I left my house.
Yeah, I've actually caught a couple of Brown football games after the season. I know sometimes they'll replay them on the Fox network. And I remember after last year, it was around Thanksgiving time, they actually replayed one of the games, and my family and I were able to watch it, so it was nice.
Alexander Narocha on the field, getting set to tee the ball up at the 35-yard line and kick it away to the Quakers. And now back deep to receive for Penn. It'll be number 4, Dan Wilk, along with number 22, Ron Moore, standing at about their own 5-yard line. Roach checks both sides and now puts his arm in the air and gets ready to approach the football. Gets his leg into it, end-over-end kick, and it's going to be taken by Wilk at the 5-yard line. Brings it across the 10 to the 15-yard line to the 20 to the 25-yard line. Hops over a defender, and he's tackled out close to the 30-yard line by Chad Berry.
Chad Berry, there's his name again coming up.
So Penn will take over on offense, down 24-0 to start the second half at their own 29-yard line. And I assume Becker's going to continue to run the offense. 10 of 21 passing, 90 yards, and an interception in the first half for Ryan Becker, the senior. Coming in, 28 of 46 passing for 369 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. That was before today. First and 10 Penn at their own 29-yard line. Bears crowd the line of scrimmage. Becker out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left. And he's going to hand it off to Kulsar running right, short side of the field. And the Bears stop him for a loss of about a half yard to a yard. No room on that short side of the field. Or as they call it, the boundary, right?
Yep, running into the boundary there. It's interesting. Every time that Penn tries to stretch it out and run a run to the edge of the field, you see 3, 4, 5 Brown jerseys getting vertical over the line of scrimmage and getting in the face of the running back.
Loss of 2 on the carry by Kulsar. Second down 12 for the Quakers. They have it at their own 27-yard line now. 2 receivers split out to the far side left. Mitchell King, the tight end, lines up to the near side right along with O'Malley. And Becker back to pass. Sets. Now he steps up in the pocket. He wants to run with it, and he does, and takes it out to the 34-yard line. Again, being pressured. That pocket collapsed, so he had to step up in it and try to make a play. This is as well as I've seen this Brown defensive line play all season long. I mean, they really have done a good job of getting into that Penn backfield and being disruptive.
They really have, and that is such a huge testament to all the hard work that they put in this last week and in the offseason developing some of the younger guys that you see having success.
The Quakers in the first half were 3 for 9 on their third down conversions, and here they have a 3rd and 5 at their own 34-yard line. Becker out of the gun, 2 receivers left, double tight end to the near side right. Takes the snap, back to pass, looking left, firing left, has a man who drops it. He had an open receiver, Connor Scott. It was thrown slightly behind him, but certainly a catchable football, and Scott, I think, a little bit upset with himself that he didn't make the grab there. So the Bears defense comes up with a 3rd down stop, 3 and out for the Quakers. And Penn will have to punt the football away once again. Jetty back at his own 26-yard line to receive the punt of Curricar. In the first half, Curricar averaged 41.2 yards per punt on his 5 boots. Good snap. Curricar gets his leg into it. This is not one of his better punts, but going to take a Penn bounce inside the 30-yard line and down to the 25 to the 24 where the Quakers will down it.
Makes you wonder on that 3rd down if Becker was expecting to have pressure on him, because you saw he really tried to get the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible, and he missed through to the wide receiver.
Well, you know how that works as a former D lineman yourself. You start putting pressure on a quarterback, and now they start feeling the pressure even when it's not there.
That's right. You can see it when a quarterback, he starts trying to get rid of the ball too quick. Frankly, you're in his head a little bit. So it looks like the defensive line for the Bears has been able to accomplish that.
1st and 10 for the Brown offense. They'll start this drive at their own 24-yard line. Their opening possession of the second half. Donnelly operates out of the shotgun. They're going to hand it off to Spooney. Spooney up the middle, and Spooney takes it ahead to the 27-yard line for a 3-yard pickup on 1st down. The whistle had blown as progress had been stopped. Penn thinks they came up with a turnover, but that was long after the whistle had blown the play dead.
And it looked like Spoonie didn't have much at all there. And he
No.
got low, kept driving his feet, and with a little bit of help from the offensive line was able to gain a few yards.
It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Bears from their own 27-yard line as they break the huddle. Evans and Lundeval split out to the near side left. The tight end Marks lines up to the right side of the formation. Spoonie behind Talby in the broken eye to the left. Donnelly out of the shotgun on 2nd and 7. Handoff Spoonie again up the middle. Another big hole for Spoonie. And another first down run for John Spoonie. Out to the 36-yard line. Spoonie and the Bears offense moves the chains. And I don't know if you noticed, it looks like Penn down 24 is trying to strip the ball now on every carry by Spoonie.
And they're doing that, and it's giving the ability for when they kind of step back and try to rip the ball for John Spoonie to gain a few extra yards.
Spoonie now up to 224 yards rushing on the day, along with his 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10 Brown. They have it at their own 36. Donnelly out of the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He rolls right, looking, firing to Lundeval, and Lundeval can't make the grab. A little low, and Teleff couldn't make the grab. Incomplete pass. Teleff did a good job of coming back for the football, seeing that Donnelly wanted to get rid of it, but pass just a little too low for Teleff to hang on to. And now it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Bears from their own 36-yard line.
You saw in that play that the Bears are starting to open up that play action a little bit. I wonder how much we'll see that this half.
2nd down, 10 Brown. They have it at their own 36. Lundeval splits out to the far side right. It's Jordan Evans to the near side left. Donnelly out of the shotgun will give it to Spoonie. Spoonie trying to bounce it out, and he does all he can to get back to the original line of scrimmage. A couple of Penn defenders had a chance to take him down to the backfield. He was able to elude 2 tackles, but not a 3rd defender. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down 10. Now Lundeval and Strahan split out to the right. Phelan to the left. Marks is lined up on the left side of the formation as well. Koch in the backfield standing to the right of Patrick Donnelly. Back to pass Donnelly. Fires. And it's behind Lundeval, who was wide open at midfield. I'm not sure if that was a miscommunication between Pat and Teleff there, as Teleff was cutting in, and Pat threw it to the outside.
Many times on routes like that, it's kind of up to the discretion of the wide receiver on how he wants to run it. And sometimes he'll cut out, sometimes he'll cut in, based off what the defender's doing. You know, it looks like on that one that Pat and Teleff kind of saw that situation differently.
So on 4th down, Grant Senni will come on to kick the ball away. He's had 3 punts for an average of 39 yards per punt so far today. Good punt here by Senni. Jaskowski takes it at his own 17, hit and fumble the football, and he falls back on it at the 11-yard line. Oh, nice job there. Was that Pat O'Neill that played the hit?
Looks like it was. You see Pat O'Neill just get the crown of his hat right on the tip of the football and knock it out.
And we have a timeout on the field. There's 10:57 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's 24-0 Brown leading Penn from Nelligan Sports. This is Brown Bears football. Hey Bears fans, .08 is the law in Rhode Island. Play it safe and designate a sober driver. Brought to you by the Rhode Island Department of Transportation on highway safety. Scott Credisci and Ross Walthall, class of 2013, with you today from Brown Stadium on homecoming day for the Bears, and they lead the Penn Quakers 24-0 with 10:57 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ross, you're a little young to know this story, probably. I am too, for that matter, but it's been told to me a few times. You ever hear of a guy by the name of Wally Pipp?
I sure have.
You have?
Yes, multiple coaches. That's one of those things in coaching lore. They like to repeat the story of Wally Pipp. It's just, I guess, to keep those older guys on their toes.
Okay, so here's the thing. John Anderson, my normal color analyst, is not with us this week for good reason. His daughter is playing her final collegiate field hockey game out in Miami of Ohio this week. So he wanted to see her last game. But, you know, if the Bears continue to play well and hold on and win this game, you know, Coach Estes is a superstitious guy. So, you know, you could be the Lou Gehrig and Anderson could be Wally Pipp. You know, you never know.
You know, I understand the call he made to go out and see his daughter play. But, hey, John, I'm coming for your job.
Quakers have the football, 1st and 10. They're going to start this drive at their own 11-yard line, trailing the Bears 24-0. Becker is up under center on 1st down. He's going to hand it off. Luttrell unable to make the tackle. Spinning out of it is Kulsar, and he makes a big gain out of nothing, really. Picked up 9 yards on a carry where it looked like he was going to be dropped for about a 5-yard loss. Good job of running there by Kulsar, the junior. And we mentioned early in this game, Ludovic Richardson was hurt and looked like he was hurt pretty badly down on the field, but he's been back in there, and he appears no worse for the wear in there at his defensive tackle position. On 2nd and short, toss comes near side to Kulsar, and he's going to pick up the 1st down.
You know, Kulsar kind of fits in with that typical Penn running back. He's a pretty strong back. It's not any kind of speed demon, but he can run pretty good, and he's hard to bring down. You can see that in the last couple of plays.
Quakers break the huddle. They send Mitchell split out to the far side left, Connor Scott to the near side right. Becker has backs in the I formation. Kulsar is the tailback behind the fullback, Schwartz. On 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Fake the handoff. Becker steps up, fires, and it's incomplete.
Here it talks about the difference as a quarterback when you're forced to throw off your back foot. And you see that. You saw Ludovic Richardson get in his face, and Becker's throwing somewhat timid right now.
He's got it 2nd down and 10 at his own 24-yard line. Now sends 3 receivers to the far side left and 1 to the near side right. Operating out of the shotgun, Becker on the delay is going to hand it off with a draw, and a nice job. Is that Gio or Twyman that filled the gap and came up with a tackle? That was Will Twyman. Twyman, the sophomore from Sudbury, Mass, comes up with a big hit. 3rd down and 10 for the Quakers from their own 24-yard line. Becker out of the shotgun. Back to pass, being blitzed, gets rid of the football, incomplete. Bears made him throw it quickly, and he couldn't throw it accurately. How about the Bears rotating guys in, getting the job done? That time you saw a pair of sophomore middle linebackers, Twyman and Berry, behind Russo and Gioacchini on that series, and they come up with a stop.
You know, and that's always been the strategy of the defensive coaches here at Brown. You know, you not only do you get those young guys some experience, but the older guys are going to play better because they're getting those reps off.
And now the punt by Curicar. It hits a Brown player, but fortunately, Chad Berry is able to come up with it. It went off the helmet of Phil Smith. It was such a low, poor punt that Smith didn't know it. Hit him on the head. He's one of the gunners running down the field. Or trying to return, I should say, trying to block the gunners. Timeout on the field with 9. For the best atmosphere on the east side, look no further than Hope Street Pizza and Neighborhood Sports Bar, official sponsor of Brown Athletics. Offering great food at great prices. Stop by today to see for yourself or call 401-273-5955. Scott Cradisci, Ross Walthall at Brown Stadium. 9 minutes, 14 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Bears 24, Quakers nothing, and Brown's going to have pretty good field position to start this drive. They'll start it at their own 40-yard line when Fox College Sports returns from their commercial break. Tell you what would be great right here, Ross, a nice time-consuming scoring drive. That could really maybe deliver a knockout punch to the Quakers. And that was the theme this week, by the way, for the Bears. We showed them the Hagler-Hearns fight from many years ago, which was just a 3-round brawl. And then when we played their music video to highlights from last week's win over Cornell, we said, now let's knock out Penn in our own backyard. And the score here might do that.
Very fitting to show a fight like that with these type of teams, but it looks like Brown's actually being the more physical team right now.
They have been today, and they start this drive 1st and 10 at their own 40. Donnelly out of the shotgun, gives it to Spoonie. Ooh, he was hit hard. Met immediately by Dan Davis, the linebacker, who just filled the gap. Came in and dropped Spoonie for a loss. John wants to stay on. He says, I want another crack at this. They're bringing Andrew Koch in. Second down 13. That's a loss of 3 yards. Back to the Brown 37-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side right, 1 Jordan Evans to the near side left, and Donnelly operates out of the shotgun. Donnelly's going to pass on second down, fires right to Lundeval. Lundeval trying to make a guy miss, and he's going to be wrapped up at the 41-yard line after a 4-yard pickup on the catch. After this one, the Bears will head on the road again to the Yale Bowl in New Haven to take on the Bulldogs next week. And then their final home game is 2 weeks from today against the Big Green of Dartmouth College. Right now, the Bears have it 3rd and 9 at their own 41-yard line with 8 minutes to go in the third, leading Penn 24-0. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left, and now Lundeval motions from right to left. Donnelly back to pass on 3rd down, steps up, fires, Phelan has the first down catch into Quakers territory, tackled at the 47-yard line.
And that was a bullet by Donnelly. You saw him thread the needle on that one. Again, the Bears offensive line keeps handling those defensive ends on the edge and watching them just past Donnelly so he can step up and make those throws.
Alexander Phelan had a nice touchdown catch in the opener against Georgetown, a leaping grab in the back of the end zone. His father, great receiver at Boston College, played with Doug Flutie. Caught the miracle in Miami to beat the Hurricanes. 1st and 10, Brown at the 47-yard line of the Quakers. Hand off to Koch, and Koch is tackled for a loss of 1 back to the 48-yard line.
You're starting to see more and more linebackers doing these blitzes on 1st and 2nd down, trying to slow down the Bears' running game. I guess we'll see how the Bears respond, if they're going to do some play action or possibly start dropping back and passing a little more.
Or get some receivers and tight ends dragging across the middle where they're vacated.
Exactly right.
2nd down, 11. Bears of the ball at the Penn 48. Donnelly out of the gun. Reisner stands behind him. Pass it out to Strahan on the right side, and Strahan driving forward down to the 46-yard line. He picked up a couple yards on the catch and run. Got to bring up another 3rd down and long, 3rd and 9 for the Bears. Brown today, 3 of 7 on 3rd down. Phelan comes back in. Marks comes to the sideline on 3rd and 9. Evans and Lundeval will split out to the far side right. Phelan and Strahan to the near side left. Now Lundeval motions and sets on the left side. Donnelly takes the snap, back to pass, fires to Lundeval, who's open and makes the first down catch inside the 25-yard line.
2 fifth-year seniors there, and you can see how well they work together on that pass right there. You saw Teloff do a move to the inside and then slow down just to be met by the ball in the perfect place just outside the defender's reach.
Well, I jokingly talk about how you and Foxy are buddies, and you know, you had that chemistry that you've had for years when you were here at Brown, and you could say the same thing about Donnelly and Lundeval. Those guys have been close going back to when they played prep school football at Phillips Exeter.
That's exactly right, yeah. Best friends, and frankly, you can see how well they work together on the field.
Donnelly fakes the handoff, play action pass, looking, and he's going to throw it away. Jordan Evans was covered on the play by Dan Wilk, but he was the intended receiver.
It's interesting on that play, you see them leave Teloff Lundeval in almost as a tight end type player off the edge of the line, helping block. You know, he is pretty versatile in the fact that he can almost block like a tight end, but he has the speed of any wide receiver in the league.
2nd down 10 after the incomplete pass. Brown has it at the 23-yard line of the Quakers. 5:16 to go 3rd quarter. Bears 24, Quakers nothing. Evans and Lundeval split out to the far side left. Marks and Talby to the far side right. Marks and Talby to the near side left. Handoff Spooney running left. Spooney cutting it up inside the 20, and he's going to be driven back. Gain of a few yards by John on the carry. Oh, there's a late penalty marker that comes out here. And Teloff Lundeval is clapping. I wonder if that means it's on the Quakers.
You wonder if it was a late hit or something.
Oh, Donnelly's getting in on the conversation too. Let's wait to see the indication from the official here. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Brown. The official's microphone is not working, so he couldn't hear who it was on. But it's an unsportsmanlike conduct. That's 15 yards against the Bears, and that's not something that the Bears need at this juncture. That's going to be their 6th penalty for 48 yards. Penn's been penalized only 3 times for 25 yards.
We talked about at the beginning of this drive that one of the things Bears need to do here was have a long drive and take some of the time off the clock. You know, it hurts to have that penalty, but they've already taken about 4 minutes off of the clock on this series.
That's big. You're absolutely right. Chewing the clock up is something the Bears want to do with a 24-0 lead. But now they've got it 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 21. At the 34-yard line of the Quakers. Low snap. Donnelly picks it up, though. Now he fires it out right. And Andrew Koch is going to be tackled after only a short gain down to the 32. So now this would be about a 50-yard field goal attempt for Narocha. Do the Bears want to try it here, or it's an interesting call here. You know, if they miss it, you give Penn decent field position, and they're going to bring it on here. You know, Roach's wanted to try a 50-yarder in game situations. This would be a career high, so they're going to try a 50-yarder for Alexander Narocha. He's hit 57-yarders on a few occasions in practice.
Doesn't look like wind's going to be a factor here. Relatively calm day, so he's got the leg strength and the accuracy. Let's see if he can get it in.
A career-long attempt of 50 yards for Alexander Narocha, and now the Bears call a timeout with the play clock winding down. We'll take a timeout, too, with 3:55 to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Bears up 24-0 on Penn. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football. 3 minutes, 55 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Brown leading Penn 24-0, and it looks like Alexander Narocha is going to attempt a field goal try of about 50 yards. You look at the widescreen here at Brown Stadium. They just erected a new bear statue outside the Nelson Fitness Center. Have you seen it yet, Big Red?
I haven't had the chance to see it. I did see a picture of it, I believe on the Brown University football Facebook page. Yeah.
So the bear itself, it was imported from Europe. I think about $400,000 statue, imported from Europe. The bear itself is 11 feet tall, and then it's on top of like a 4-foot platform. It's pretty impressive.
You know, that's an amazing investment. What a testament to all the supporters that Brown Athletics has. The whole new complex that they have over there is just beautiful.
Yeah. Varsity weight room, the Zaccone Varsity weight room, the Nelson Fitness Center, really beautiful. And, you know, you guys have probably the finest practice fields in the Ivy League, the Barrelson family fields, 2 side-by-side field turf 100-yard football fields.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, that makes a huge difference. Being able to have all that space, it's a big team here. You know, you have about 120 guys, and being able to split up and have individualized sessions with all the different position groups, yeah, it's a huge asset.
So now the Bears appear like they're going to go for it on offense. Instead of kicking the field goal, they're going to bring the offense onto the field. And Patrick Donnelly comes out with Jordan Evans split out to the near side left, Telo Flundeval to the far side right. Koch is the tailback behind Talby, the fullback, in the broken eye. And now Bears might have to, now they're walking Donnelly off the field. They're going to go a direct snap here to Koch. Play clock down to 3, 2, and the Bears take a delay of game. So they're trying a little trickery there.
A little bit.
And now they're going to bring on the punting unit.
And that makes sense. If you're going to punt the ball, it's a little close right there. Because most likely, if you're punting from the 33 or 4 yard line, it's likely going to go in the end zone, and you're only going to get a 15-yard change in the difference of field position.
So they willingly take the 5-yard penalty to give Senny a little bit more room for the sky punt here. Senni will take the snap at his own 48. Gets his leg into it. Bounces inside the 10, inside the 5, and the Bears are going to down it at the 2-yard line. Well executed by the Bears punting unit. That is exactly what they were hoping for.
He gets the kick into the boundary, so now they're going to start on the hash. Just inside the 2-yard line. You really can't imagine a better place to start off a drive from a defensive standpoint. Good
smart play with a 24-0 lead and 3:42 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break from Nelligan Sports. This is Brown Bears football. Scott Cardisci, Ross Walthall back at Brown Stadium. Bears on top of Penn, 24-zip, 3:42 to go third quarter. Elsewhere around the Ivy League, Yale is just hammering Columbia 46-6 with 9:43 to go. And Princeton at halftime leading Cornell 29-13.
You really can't count that Cornell team out. With the firepower that Matthews has and some of the weapons he has at wide receiver, I mean, that game isn't over until the clock's.
I would agree with you. The only problem is, can the Cornell defense stop that Princeton offense?
Right.
That's really going to be the question. But, you know, as I said, Princeton, even if they do win today to go to 4-0 in the league, they still have tough games to play. They have to go to Dartmouth to finish the season. They still have to play this Penn team at Penn, I believe, as well. So those are two, you know, potential banana peels that they could slip on.
No doubt about it. Yeah. I mean, frankly, in the Ivy League, it's not over till it's over. I mean, at this point, you have two undefeated teams at 3-0 who are in good games right now. Penn being down by 24 points, but you never really know what's going to happen in November.
That's right. Who would have thought last year that 2 wins would win the league outright, and it did for Penn.
And it very well could happen again this year.
Yep. Penn has it 1st and 10 at its own 2-yard line. Becker up under center now. Long cadence. They try to get the Bears to jump. No flag. They hand it off running left. And a gain of about a yard out to the 3-yard line. Kulsar, the ball carrier. And we have an injured Penn player down on the field. It looks like it is Wilcox.
And it really seems that the Bears defense has kind of been one step ahead of what Penn's doing on offense every time.
Yeah, I would agree. There was one brief moment when Penn decided to kind of hurry up, quicken the pace a little bit and throw the ball, that they seem to get the Bears playing a little bit on their heels defensively. But outside of that, you're right. From the very start, they stuffed the Penn running game.
Yeah.
And now even more recently, when Penn's gone back to the pass, they've done such a good job of getting pressure on Becker so quickly that he's thrown errant passes.
Yeah, I think that's really been the difference. Once Penn started dropping back and throwing, the Bears, once they calmed down a little bit, got some pressure, really has changed the game.
It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Quakers from their own 3. Becker again up under center with backs in the I formation behind him. Kulsar, the tailback, gets the handoff out of his own end zone, and he's tackled at the 5-yard line after a pickup of 2. And I'll tell you what, this would be a big, big third down stop here for the Bears, because if they get off the field on third down here, their offense is going to get the football somewhere near midfield, maybe on Penn's side of midfield. Penn 3 for 11 on third down conversions today. And they have it 3rd down and 7 at their own 5-yard line. Becker will operate out of the gun now. 2 receivers right. Now the receiver on the left side of the formation motions left to right. Becker back to pass. And he's looking and fires and has a man. It's complete. Caught at the 16-yard line, and it's good enough for a 1st down catch. Connor Scott. Emery Polly wrapped him up as soon as he caught it and tackled him, but not before Scott picks up a Penn 1st down. First and 10 for the Quakers at the 15-yard line. Clock continues to run, which is good for the Bears. Here comes Joe Bikini off the edge, blitzing, and the pass is incomplete, thrown behind Ryan Mitchell, the intended receiver. Oyaloa on the coverage. Would have made the tackle if he had made the catch after only a few-yard gain.
The Penn receivers and Becker, they seem a little bit out of sync at this point. There's been a lot of passes bobbled and just outside of the receiver's hands.
Yeah, you're right. He's thrown some behind guys recently. And again, maybe that's what you talked about earlier. Maybe the result of getting all that pressure on him. Maybe he's feeling it even when it's not there at times. Becker out of the shotgun again on 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Steps up with the pocket collapsing, and it is incomplete. That should not be interference on Brown. That should be offensive interference. Looked like he pushed off a Supron.
Had a little theatrics from the receiver there.
Oh, and the crowd on this side can't believe the call. It should have been offensive pass interference. What a terrible, terrible call. Let's watch the replay right here on BrownBears.tv. Oh my God. I mean, Supron's not even near him.
Yeah, he's 2 yards away.
Just a horrendous, horrendous call.
I don't know if that's a sympathy call or what, but that's not right.
Well, I can tell you this, each week, every team looks over the film and they see questionable calls that they send in to the director of officials, and they review them, and then they get a response back. That's going to be one that Brown will probably send in and get an apology from the head of officials on. 1st and 10, Penn. They have it at their own 30. Becker back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Fires downfield. Oh, batted down by Zach Luttrell.
What an athletic play. He just jumped up and right at the top of the ball. He went up, snagged it away. Luttrell, normally a guy known for stopping the run, and really good in coverage there.
You know, this senior class doesn't have a lot of vocal leaders, but he's one of the few, Zach Luttrell. There's been a few times he's gotten on the B after practice or before practice and given the team a fiery speech. And the Bears coming with the blitz. Penn with the screen pass complete to Wilcox, and Wilcox hit hard just short of the 40-yard line. Davenport gets up after the hit. Going to be just short of the first down marker.
That was one of the few successful screens that Penn's been able to do today. I mean, they've tried it a lot with all the pressure they've been getting from the Bears, but they've had a few drops, and that one got them almost to the first down marker, about a yard away.
It's going to be 3rd down and 1 for the Quakers from their own 39-yard line. Becker out of the shotgun. He's going to pass on 3rd and short, and it is caught, and it's going to be a first down out of the 45-yard line. Quick hit to Connor Scott for the first down for Penn.
He was lucky to get the ball out of his hands on that one.
The pressure has been relentless from the Brown defense. 1st and 10, Penn. They have it at their own 45-yard line. Becker back to pass. Pocket collapses, and he's sacked in the backfield again. Michael Ewells gets him this time.
Michael Ewells is a guy that going into every single game against Ivy League opponents, they know that they're going to have a running back or a tight end chip and help out their offensive tackle against Michael Ewells. On that one, the tackle was all on his own, and Michael Ewells took advantage of it.
2nd and 16 after the sack by Ewells. Becker, they set up the screen again, and they block it up pretty well, and the catch and run made there by number 34, Mike Ellisbrew, out to the 50-yard line. So they pick up a lot of that yardage lost and then a few more. But it's going to bring up another 3rd down for the Quakers. They've converted their last 2 here. They're going to have a 3rd and 5 at the 50. And down 24-0 here at the end of the 3rd quarter. This might be 2-down territory for them if they don't get it. Becker to pass, rolls left, now pressured, gets rid of it as he's hit, and it is incomplete. Man, he was belted by Xavier Russo, and I'll tell you what, he's slow to get up. I think he felt that one in the rib cage.
He has taken so many hits today, courtesy of the Brown defensive line. They have been relentless in their rush.
So now on 4th down, the Quakers will punt the football away. This will be the 8th punt of the day for Penn. Curicar will kick it away to Jetty. Gets his leg into it. Jetty calls for the fair catch, and he makes it at the 12-yard line. 23 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Brown 24, Penn nothing. We'll keep it right here. Well, the one thing you didn't want to see happen if you were a Brown fan was to let Penn score on that opening drive coming out of the locker room or get a little momentum and a little confidence in the 3rd quarter. Look what this defense has done. They've done a great job of holding this Penn offense down.
They really have. I mean, going into the fourth quarter with a 24-point lead and still a goose egg on Penn's side on the scoreboard. Pretty good position to be in as a Bears fan.
Spoonie back in at tailback. Donnelly operates out of the gun. Handoff Spoonie. Spoonie up the middle. Ooh, he was almost one defender away from breaking another big one. As it is, he picks up 8 yards on the carry. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter here at Brown Stadium. It's been all Brown today, folks. They lead Penn Quakers 24-0 after 3. We're back with the fourth quarter from Brown Stadium after this. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football. Brown football brought to you in part by the Brown Sports Foundation, committed to providing support that ensures a quality athletic and educational experience for our student athletes. To learn how you can make an impact for your favorite Brown athletic program, log on to sportsfoundation.brown.edu or call 401-863-1900. Start of the fourth quarter at Brown Stadium, and the Bears leading Penn 24-0. You know, we expected a good game today. I'm not sure anybody expected this. Total domination by the Bears. You know, Penn, 2-time defending Ivy League champions. They come in 3-0 in the Ivy League, and Brown has dominated them from the very start of this game.
They really have. I mean, Penn was on a 7-game Ivy League win streak, I believe, coming into this game. And frankly, many would say they were the favorite coming into this game. But the Bears have played inspired, I would say. And you see it on defense especially, and you wonder what kind of role all those guys rallying around Donnie Sproul has had, and kind of bringing them all together. And you can see it emotionally. They are all playing with a lot of heart.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we thought this team was capable coming into the season. You know, you lose to Harvard early, and it's a little disheartening, and then you race out to the lead on Princeton and lose to them, and you start 0-2 in the league, and you start to maybe second-guess things a little bit. But, you know, they picked themselves up with a win at Cornell last week, and then really playing today like the team we thought they were capable of. Because I've covered this program for a lot of years, Ross, and I really thought coming into this season that this was a legitimate Ivy League championship contending team. And, you know, one of the big reasons for that, when you've got a veteran quarterback, Patrick Donnelly, that's as good as it gets, and a guy like Lundevold as well on offense, you see those pieces and you say, you know what? And this team has a chance to do some special things.
They really do. And they're still showing that they're not going to go down without a fight here in this season, and they're going to still chase after that Ivy League championship.
2nd down and 2 for the Bears from their own 21-yard line. Donnelly operates out of the shotgun. Start of the fourth quarter. Bears leading 24-0. He's going to pass complete to Jordan Evans, and Evans takes it across the 30 to the 32-yard line. It is another Brown first down, and that'll keep the clock running for Brown.
And you kind of touched on it, Scott. On this Bears offense, there are so many seniors, guys that have some experience. Three guys that are actually fifth-year seniors who came back because of injuries in prior seasons. So they absolutely have the experience, the firepower, and clearly a lot of athleticism.
Through 3 quarters, Brown with 428 yards of offense to 189 for Penn. And more impressively, the Bears averaging almost 11 yards per offensive play as the handoff here goes to Jordan Reisner for a big run. Penn is averaging only 3.3 yards per offensive play.
But I'm surprised we haven't seen Reisner more today. After the great week he had last week, and frankly, he's their second or third back right now, obviously behind Spoonie.
Yep.
But quite a good player in his own right.
A first down run for Jordan Reisner of 11 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for the Bears at their own 43-yard line. The clock continues to run here as we get set to go under 14 minutes to play. The Bears on top 24-0 over Penn. Reisner remains the tailback. They motion Lundevold from right to left on 1st and 10 from the 43. Handoff goes to Reisner. Reisner runs into Clay Pano, bounces it to the outside, and he picks up a big gainer into Penn territory all the way down to the 42-yard line.
And you see Reisner zigzagging in the backfield, getting out of the way of opposing defenders. There was a missed block, and he made something out of nothing there.
An 11-yard carry, and he follows that one up with a gain of about 17, 18 more. I guess they'll give him 15 on the carry down to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 Brown at the Penn 42. Reisner remains in at tailback. Marks the tight end, motions left to right. Handoff Reisner again, running right. And this time he's met at the line of scrimmage and tackled there.
This is one of the most solid performances I've seen from a Bears offensive line in a long time. And you see everyone, they're staying on their blocks, and that's what created that play with Jordan Reisner, being able to cut all the way back across the field because all those guys stayed on their block.
You know, it's funny, this is the first time Coach Estes can ever remember in his tenure as head coach at Brown. He came into the year with 11 seniors as starters on offense, all 11 guys seniors. 2nd and 10 at the Penn 42. Donnelly rolls right, passes right, and Lundeval makes the catch and runs out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Well, spotted out at the 37. That's a gain of 5. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Bears. Brown today is 4 for 9 on 3rd down conversions. Here they have it 3rd and 5 at the Penn 37-yard line. Koch is the tailback. 3 receivers left. 1 receiver, Jordan Evans, to the near side right. Play clock down to 4. Donnelly takes the snap, back to pass. Looks right, fires right, and interference there. He was all over the back of Jordan Evans. You got to be kidding me. What are these guys watching? That's unbelievable. Before the ball even got to Jordan Evans, he had a Penn defender draped on his back. Oh, my goodness. What a horrible non-call by this crew. Horrendous. If you're watching the game on Fox College Sports, you know what we're talking about.
The defenseman here has got his arms wrapped around him on both sides, as you see on the replay. Jordan Evans had no chance of catching that ball because of the interference.
Now Senny will come on and punt the football away for the Bears. Try to pin deep once again. Senny gets his leg into it, trying to pooch it down.
Oh, wow.
And is this going to be down inside the 1, or is it a touchback? It will be a touchback. 11:41 to go, and the Bears leading Penn 24-0 from Nelligan Sports. This is Brown Bears football. Brown football brought to you in part by Corvius Campus Living, partnering with colleges and universities to create communities where students can live, learn, and play. We understand complex student housing challenges and deliver holistic long-term solutions. Visit us at corvius.com. 11 minutes, 41 seconds to go in the 4th here at Brown Stadium. Bears lead the Penn Quakers 24-0. Tell you what, Quakers don't like coming to Providence when they're riding an Ivy League win streak, do they?
No, they don't. It's ripe for being broken.
2 years ago, Penn was riding a 18-game Ivy League win streak. First place in the Ivy League, came to Brown Stadium and shut out by the Bears 6-0. And today, having won their last 7 Ivy games dating back to last year and 3-0 and tied for first in the league with Princeton coming in, they find themselves on the short end of a 24-0 score to Brown with 11:41 to play in the 4th quarter. And a big reason for that has been the play of this Brown defensive line. And right now we see that freshman Tom Kutchke back in, number 97, at the right defensive tackle spot. He's in there with Bumpus, Polachek, and Yules. 1st and 10, Penn. They're going to start this drive at their own 20. And now Becker's going to operate out of the gun with an empty backfield. They motion a receiver into the backfield, fake the handoff to him. Back to passes Becker. Steps up in the pocket again, and he's going to be dropped after a gain, I should say, of about 4 or 5 yards. He's tackled from behind by John Bumpus.
Great coverage on that play.
Yep.
Becker saw he had nothing happening in the defensive backfield, and he decided to tuck it and run.
Officially a 4-yard gain to the 24. 2nd down 6, Penn. Becker operates out of the gun again, trips left, 1 receiver right. Takes the snap, back to pass, looks, fires, behind his receiver, but still caught by Ryan Mitchell for a 1st down out to the 33-yard line. So now Penn exclusively in a passing mode here, down 24-0 with 11 minutes to go. Again, trips 3 receivers to the far side right, 1 receiver to the near side left. Becker back to pass, looks right, fires right, and this one is caught again by Mitchell. And a gain of about 5 yards out to the 37-yard line.
You see Penn running this no-huddle offense, getting up to the line fairly quickly. They're running out of time, so they're obviously trying to get these plays off fairly quick.
Now they go twins left, twins right for Becker on 2nd and 5 from their own 37. Becker looks right, he fires right, and it is caught or dropped. No, they say he held on to it. Connor Scott made the catch right at the first down marker on the Penn sideline at the 43-yard line. And they're going to have to bring the chains out to measure this one. They're not going to have to go far, though. The chains are on the Penn sideline, and that's where the football is. As they stretch the chains here, let's see what they got here. They stretch the chains. They're going to be about the length of a chain short. Is it going to be a first down? No, it's going to be like about an inch shy of a first down, which is good for the Bears because that'll run the clock. Well, the Tigers have opened up a 30-point lead now on Cornell, 43-13 Princeton with 7:07 to go in the third quarter. Yale with 47 seconds to go up 53-12 on Columbia. Boy, Columbia has really struggled.
Really have. Last week they lost to Dartmouth, I believe it was 56-0.
Yep.
And they are really struggling this season, have yet to get a win.
Pete Mangorian, the Columbia coach, the former head coach at Cornell. Then he spent some time in the NFL as an assistant coach back in college football and the Ivy League as head coach of the Lions. So 2nd down and about an inch. And they're going to hand it off running right. It's Colsar, and he's got a big gainer into Brown territory, and he's going to be tackled from behind by Joe Vacchini at the Brown 41-yard line.
I don't think the Bears were expecting that there, running off the edge there. Looked like they were bringing a lot of pressure right up the center.
So it's first down for the Quakers, just outside of the Brown 40-yard line. Becker back to pass, pumps, now he's looking downfield, intercepted by Armagost. Armagost at the 40, and he falls down at the 45-yard line. He's kind of mad at himself there because he thought he could have had a big return, but he slipped up at the 45. The Bears will take it nonetheless.
Yet another play, another interception caused by a big hit on the quarterback right as he throws.
That's exactly right. Becker was looking deep downfield. There was kind of a hitch and go. He pump faked it, and then he was hit by Sparber. And Armagost comes up with his 2nd interception of the season. Had a pick against Georgetown here in the opener. 24-0 Bears, and they take over with 10:01 to play at their own 45-yard line. Koch is in at tailback. Donnelly will hand it to Koch. Koch up the middle, across midfield, takes it down to the 46-yard line of Penn. 9-yard gain on first down. Andrew Koch, the sophomore. Andover, Massachusetts.
Koch with some great moves there. He sliced and diced his way all the way to the 1 yard away from the first down marker.
Koch played for the Andover Golden Warriors out of the Merrimack Valley Conference. He played against Zach Luttrell's alma mater, Central Catholic, in Lawrence, Mass. 2nd down and less than a yard to go for the Bears at the Quaker 46. Donnelly, hand off to Koch. Koch up the middle has the first down to the 44-yard line of the Quakers. And the Bears like that because it's going to move the chains and continue to move the clock. 9:12 to go, and the clock is running in this one. 24-0 Bears lead it on homecoming.
And we see the Quakers get a little chippy after the play down there. Get a few extracurriculars, no flag.
1st and 10 for the Bears at the Penn 44-yard line. Donnelly operates out of the gun. Koch stands behind him. Tolby, the fullback, ahead of Koch in the broken eye to the right. And they hand it to Koch running right. Koch makes one man miss, and he takes it down to the 37-yard line. A nice gain of 7 yards on first down for Koch.
Andrew Koch is having a great fourth quarter, excuse me, here. In place of John Spooney. It looks like they may be taking him out for a little bit.
Yeah, just, the game in hand, they try to manage John. They know that as a track guy, they want to get him banged up. They want to keep him healthy for the next game, which in this case would be Yale next week. But the Bears have a nice 1-2-3 combo at tailback. Spooney is that breakaway guy with tremendous speed. Koch is that physical north-south, pound it between the tackles runner. And Reisner is like a combination of the two. He can hit you for the big play, but he can also run it tough between the tackles. Koch, the ball carrier, up the middle, driving forward, and he's got the first down to the 34-yard line of Penn.
Koch's impressed me with the amount of yards he's able to get after the contact. You see on that play, gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, but he still gets the first down.
And this is exactly the type of drive that Frank Sheehan, the offensive coordinator, hoped to dial up here. When you're up 24-0, you want to run the ball and run the clock. And that's what they're doing. Viox comes in as a second tight end, so the Bears have Viox lined up on the left side of the formation, Marks on the right. Lundeval splits out to the left with Koch the tailback behind Talby the fullback, Broken Eye right. Handoff Koch up the middle again, and Koch's just going to drive forward before being driven back after a gain of 2. Going to be a long ride back to Philadelphia for those Quakers.
Looks like it will be. This clock keeps ticking here at Brown Stadium, and the drive continues.
And we are told by Scotty Rogers from the Ivy League that this is the first time in Ivy League history to have 2 or more rushes of 90 yards or more in the same game. 3 today with Spooney's 2 touchdown runs and a 94-yard touchdown run by Khalil Keys of Yale. So the first time in league history on the same day there have been 3 runs of 90 yards or more. Here's Reisner, the ball carrier, and he's tripped up after a gain of yard to the 31. So how about that? Spooney with a couple of long touchdown runs and 1 for Yale today. Yeah, I mean, those are rare.
That doesn't happen every single day here in the Ivy League.
Of course, you remember, right now, Katchmer had the big one at Yale a couple years ago, set the Brown record.
Yes, I believe he did. I think it was 95?
Yeah.
95? Yeah. And the funny thing about that play was that it was blocked wrong. One of the guards was meant to pull. He did not pull. And Katchmer was left there with a defensive lineman coming straight at him. He made the guy miss and ran 95 yards.
3rd down 7. Donnelly on the delay, hands it off to Reisner. Reisner up the middle, and he's going to be hit at the 29-yard line. And the clock down to 5:45 and running remaining in this one. And now Narocha's going to get a chance at that long field goal. It's not going to be a 50-yarder. This one will be about 45 to 46 yards in length.
And it looks like if the Bears can manage the clock here, that they're going to get the game clock down to about 5 minutes.
This is going to be a 45-yard field goal attempt for Narocha. From the left hash mark, angle to the right. Out of the hold of Alexander Phelan. Snap, hold is down. Narocha's kick is up. It is on the way, and the kick is good. How about Alexander Narocha? All he's done this year is gone 28 for 28 on point afters and 8 for 8 on field goal attempts. You can't get any better than that. It's called perfection.
Is the amount of turnovers that they've created. And, those interceptions that have happened are always great statistics to have as a defensive back. But you also have to remember that a lot of those are created by the linebackers and the defensive line hitting that quarterback and making the ball sail a little bit.
Interception called back on a penalty, roughing the passer. I mean, this defense has really gotten after it. And now, you know this better than anyone because you played on that side of the ball. Now there's 4:57 to go. You want to keep that bagel on the scoreboard.
That's
it's
right.
all about keeping that goose egg up there, isn't it?
That's right. It's a pride thing. And to be honest with you, myself, I always kind of consider myself to be a pass rusher. And there's a lot of good ones on our defense here. In this situation, you know that the Penn's going to be pressed a little bit to get some points on the board. So they're going to start dropping it back and passing. So it gets to a point where you kind of know what they're going to do. And you're able to pin your ears back and get after the quarterback a little bit, which is really, really fun.
Yeah. 4:57 to go. 27-0. Penn trailing the Brown Bears. It is homecoming day here at Brown Stadium, and the homecoming crowd has been treated to one heck of a performance by their football team.
No doubt about it. There's been great attendance here from Brown friends and family and the community. Really good attendance at all the games this season. Which is
a couple of night games this year. For the first time, we had 2 night games in a single season, Princeton and URI. Next year, of course, it'll likely be Harvard again, you would think. And those are always fun for the students. You get the students to come out to those games because they enjoy the tailgating experience before the game and then come out to the game. The only tough part from a player's perspective is, you know, we get the guys up early in the morning, have breakfast, have meetings, do a little walkthrough, and then they go back and it's kind of waiting all day, the anticipation, you know, as opposed to getting here and playing at 12:30. You got to wait for that game to arrive.
It's a long day emotionally and mentally because, you know, clearly it's hard physically, but all that time where you're sitting there thinking about the game, it's on your mind. You generally have a lot of meetings that day. There's that opportunity to watch more film, which helps, but it's also a little bit draining by the end of the day. So it's a fun atmosphere to be in, and you know, the Brown community has always responded really, really well with a lot of excitement when those night games happen. So it's always it's a testament to the amount of support and a lot of the donors that make those nights possible.
John Spooney's 232 yards rushing today. We are told by Chris Humm, the sports information director, the 6th best single game mark in Brown football history. The best, Mike Milan, in 267 yards, happened against Fordham in 2001. And then Nick Hardigan holds 1, 2, 3 of them. Milan holds another, and Marquise Jesse holds another. So actually, he just went by Hardigan, Spooney, into 6th place. So, wow. I mean, what a weapon John Spooney is. And you can see why the coaches just want to keep him healthy, and that's why they've decided not to put him on the field. I mean, this game's in hand. Save him for next week's game.
Wise move by the coaches there.
Yep.
I mean, frankly, you know, if you put him out there all day, he beats all those records.
That's right.
You know, if you keep feeding him the rock the whole rest of the afternoon, he breaks every record, but really, that's not what it's about today.
The Roaches kick, end over end, is going to be taken to the 13 and fumbled. Picked back up across the 20, and a nice hit made there. Who made that hit? That was Will Twyman. On the return, number 21, Kevin Ijoma. And he bobbled it. Twyman put him down at the 22-yard line, and that's where Penn will take over with 4:52 to go, trailing the Bears 27-0.
Sooner or later, one of those fumbles is going to go the Bears' way. You've seen 2 or 3 times the Penn receivers bobbled the ball and let it get on the ground. Just a matter of time for the Bears snag one of those.
Bears defense back out on the field, looking to preserve the shutout here with 4:52 to go. Becker operates out of the shotgun. On 1st and 10, Penn from the 22. Back to pass is Becker. Pressured again. Rolls out right. Looking to pass. Fires. Oh, what a hit there by Ade Oyalawo. Mitchell had the ball in his grasp, and then Oyalawo put the shoulder pads right in the rib cage.
That was a bone-crushing hit. Wow. He's a strong guy, low to the ground, and he comes flying every time the ball hits a wide receiver.
Incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10, Penn at the 22. Becker out of the gun again. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Back to pass is Becker. Fires it to a back coming out of the backfield, Kulsar, who makes the catch. And Kulsar dances his way forward to the 29, 30-yard line. Going to be 2 yards shy of the first down. Look at Ade on the widescreen there, sporting the red, white, and blue bow tie, huh?
That's patriotic. I may have to update my wardrobe a little bit. American flag bow tie.
Note to self. Go out and get an American flag bow tie. 3rd and 2. Penn with the ball at their own 30-yard line. Becker out of the gun. Takes the snap. He's going to hand it off on 3rd and 2. And Luda Richardson makes the tackle, but not before the tailback. Kulsar drives forward for a gain of about 1.5 yards. And where they have it spotted, it's going to be shy of the first down marker. It's going to be 4th down in inches. Penn will keep its offense on the field. Clock continues to run. We're under 3:40 to go. 4th down and inches. Becker to pass, and he's going to keep it and run for the first down, and he picks it up. Tackle from behind by Jacob Walther.
And it's interesting, you see Jake Walther was a defensive end last year, and now he's moved to the inside, a defensive tackle. Put on a little weight, got a little stronger, and is doing quite well there. And Zach Sparber, who actually has played defensive tackle the last few years, is out on the end now. Looks a little leaner, and he's moving pretty well outside.
Becker to pass, and he completes it on 1st down to the backup tight end. Stapleton makes the catch. And it's a gain of about 9.5 yards, 2nd down and short. Penn with the ball at their own 47-yard line. We approach 3 minutes to go in this one. 27-0 Brown. Becker back to pass. Now he steps up and he's fumbled. And a loose ball on the turf, and Penn able to fall on it. Number 91, John Bumpus makes the hit. Bumpus came up with a big hit last week at the end of the game to help the Bears to victory over Cornell as he strip-sacked Matthews. Joe Vacchini recovered it. And a timeout called by the Quakers. We'll take one, too, with 2:53 to go. And the Bears up 27-0. From Nelligan Sports, this is Brown Bears football.
Hi, this is Chris Berman.
All right, why don't you play a minute here? I'll dial in again, okay?
Chris Berman.
I got you. No
All right.
problem. Sounds good.
He's it deep. Wait,
Okay.
he catches it.
15 seconds here.
Yep.
Down. Weird.
Like cheerleaders who cheer.
And deliver sandwiches.
Someone wanted sandwiches!
5 seconds. Stand by, guys.
0 real Coke taste and 0 calories. Enjoy everything.
After the sack by John Bumpus, the Quakers have it. 2nd down and 17 at their own 40-yard line. Becker back to pass. They set up the screen pass. It is complete. And a nice job of getting off of his blocker by Dan Giovacchini to make the tackle there on number 34, Mike Elesperu. Going to be 3rd down and 15 now for the Quakers from their own 42. 2.5 minutes to go.
I think we're going to see the Bears dial up the rush here a little bit.
Here comes Oyalawo, and Russo hits Becker hard. He gets rid of it. Intercepted by Polly. Here comes Polly on the return at the 20, 25, 30. At the 35-yard line, 40. Polly at the 45-yard line, still on his feet, across midfield, into Penn territory, and he goes out of bounds.
What an electrifying hit right there. It seems like every single turnover that the Bears have had has been created by some sort of pressure, some sort of hit. It's been a real team effort.
4th interception of the season by Polly, which matches his number from a year ago when he tied A.J. Cruz for the team lead. But that was all set up by a hit by Xavier Russo that Ryan Becker's going to be feeling for a while.
He sure will. He'll need some ice after the game after that one. He has taken so many hits this afternoon, and it really is all thanks to the Brown defense, the linebackers and the defensive linemen that have really brought a lot of pressure.
And how about for the 2nd time in a row here at Brown Stadium, the Bears defense going to shut out this Penn team. 2 years ago, your defense did it, 6-0, and today it's 27-0 Brown. Mazzara, the ball carrier, the senior, getting a carry here.
And it'd be interesting to see when the last time Penn had been shut out when they did not play Brown. Because, I mean, frankly, they have a great offense who puts up pretty good numbers each and every week. And to shut them out on a day like this really says a lot about what this defense is capable of.
And now Bobby Grabentz comes in at tailback for Mazzar as Seth Rosenbauer runs the offense. Grabentz runs it hard. I don't know if you've seen him run at all, but he runs hard in the JV games for the Bears. And Bears have a JV game tomorrow against Bridgeton at 1 o'clock at the Barrelson Family Fields. That time Grabentz had no shot as unblocked coming in to make the tackle was Dan Davis.
Yeah, I know Bobby Grabentz last season in a few JV games, he actually broke his nose. And when it happened, you know, there was blood running down his face, and they'd patch it up, stop the blood, and he'd get right back out there and play again. It seemed like each and every week he'd re-break his nose, but he just kept playing. Tough guy.
3rd down and 8 for the Bears at the Penn 40. We have only 48 seconds to go in this one. Rosenbauer out of the gun. Mazar standing behind him. He'll likely hand it off to Mazar here. He does. Mazar right up the middle. And he's tackled at the 38-yard line. And you know what? If Penn doesn't call a timeout, that'll be the final play of this football game. It is. The final 25 seconds tick off the scoreboard clock here at Brown Stadium in a convincing win by the Bears. They hammer the Penn Quakers on homecoming 27-0.